Okay. Inbox by another anonymous No Bravado member.
Yeah, we get quite a lot of inboxes which people don't really want to.
Really? Yeah. I wonder why though. Is that they just want to stay incognito,
or they just don't want people to attack them?
They just don't want the
confrontation.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. Or some people think that when you post things, this is your actual life. It's not my life. It's just a topic. You know what
Facebook.
I mean?
Yeah, calm down.
Yeah.
So this one is saying a woman.
Oh, Olu's here. Should we let him in before we start?
Go on.
Shall we? We let him in?
I've let him in.
All right.
So a woman who goes through a man's phone is what is she?
Oh, well, let's stop the share.
Should we say hello to Olu first?
Let's stop the share and then we could go into the chat. Yeah.
Cool.
Because what it does is when we've got the share up, it just has one of the box, and I like to see all of our lovely faces. Yeah.
Evening, Olu. Your camera's not on, mate.
Really?
You incognito tonight?
Let's see what's going on here. Hold on.
Come on, geezer.
After hearing us for 2 hours.
You know what I'm saying?
Is it working now?
No.
Oh, come on. I'm having to use my mobile phone here.
Right, okay. Right, so we've got your name up now, and you're not on.
Well, he did say
I know people watch just to see Olu's face, not to see the blank screen.
That's true, you know, Olu.
But you know what? He did
Olu's
say
got a little fan club on No Bravado, you know.
Yeah, we've got a fan club. And he did say in the week that people like him for his voice, innit? So
you did, didn't you? The smooth voice.
It ain't the voice.
Give me a moment, ladies.
We've got T Smooth in the comments saying, "Good evening, ladies. First time listener. Very informative." Well, hello.
Well, where you been, T? Where you been?
Thank you for tuning in. I'm glad you like. We're glad you like.
Good evening.
I can't see some of the comments, you know.
I think you've got to refresh your page every now and then, ain't you?
Right. Let's try it again.
You in, Olu?
No, Olu's still having problems with his camera. But let's continue.
Right, let's go on to the.
So, women who go through a man's phone, or vice versa, because I've had it done to me.
Yeah.
What do we think that's about?
Insecurity.
Total insecurities. I mean, it starts with insecurities. That's where it starts. Obviously, sometimes, you know, a lot of women will probably be like, oh, but I had an inkling, or I had a feeling, or I had this, that, and the other. But it starts with you being insecure. I've done it before. I'm not going to say I've never done it. Ollie's dropped off.
Yeah, it's all right.
I've done it before. But I done it. It was years ago when I was young and I was in my horrible relationship, and I done it, and I found shit on the phone, but done nothing with the shit I found on the phone. So what was I looking for? What was I digging for? Do you know what I mean? Because I wasn't in a place to confront him with what I'd found. Do you know what I mean? But I used that information that I knew, that he didn't know that I knew, almost put me in a turmoil. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I was fighting with myself, and he didn't even know that I knew what I'd seen or anything like that. It kind of, you know,
just like took the opportunity to go through his phone.
Yeah, I just went through the phone because I had an inkling. I thought something's not right, and I thought, you know, the only thing I could probably go through was his phone. So I did go through the phone, and I found evidence that, yeah, he was cheating. But what did I do with it? Nothing. And it just caused more damage to me.
Ate you up some more.
Yeah, do you know what I'm saying? Which in turn messed up the relationship. Which wasn't great in the first place anyway, you know. But, you know, I'm in another relationship. I'm in a marriage, and I would not dream of going through his phone. Even if I had an inkling, I would have to sit him down and ask him, is something going on? I have no inkling, I don't want to go through no one's phone. I just don't. because again, I find information. What am I doing with that information?
Yeah.
Nothing. You know, what are you going to do with that? And I tell people it all the time. If you're going to do that shit, make sure you're ready for what you might find, number one, and make sure you're ready to act on it if you do find something.
I totally agree with Nikki. I say, like, you know, what you seek, you find. So chances are, if you go through the phone, are you going to be mentally and emotionally prepared for what you might find? Also, things can be taken out of context.
I was going to say,
So you might see a conversation between your partner and someone else that, you know, is deemed inappropriate or whatever, you start getting upset, but actually you don't know what the context of that conversation was or whatever the case may be, and you've got yourself all upset, you've confronted them, you've now shown them that they can't trust you because you've violated them by going into their phone, and
that's right.
Those kind of worms. I think at the point where you have to start going through each other's phones, it's time to say goodbye.
That's right.
Yes,
100%.
that's what I think.
100%.
That's what I think. Been there, done that, looked through the phone. Each time I looked through it, I found exactly what I was looking for. That was shit. Broke up with them, got back together. And I just thought to myself, if I have to feel like I want to look in your phone, I don't want to be with you.
The trust is gone.
If I feel that, I'm not ever doing that again. So after that was years ago, and then for the last, like, I'd say, I don't know, 7 years of my life, I was like, no, I'm never doing that nonsense again. And if I ever in that situation where I feel like I'm being nagged that much, because one thing I do trust is my intuition. So if I ever feel like I can't, or I'm thinking about your phone, or I'm looking at how you're maneuvering with your phone, why is your phone like that? Why are you holding your phone? Or I'm not doing it. I'm not doing that again.
But again, I think that stems from insecurities that we might have, or that the female might, or the male, the person that feels to go through that phone, they've got some insecurities, because and I remember and the same friend, she used to say, but he used to come home and he'd switch his phone off. If he didn't switch his phone off, he used to put it face down. And I said, but what does that mean? I don't understand. Like, he comes home and switches his phone off because maybe he doesn't want his phone to ring while he's at home with you. Did you know what I'm saying?
It's true,
Not that he's hiding anything from you. I'm not saying that he can't. He might be hiding something, but then he might also be cutting all communication so his time is yours.
Give you quality time.
You know, and that's what I'm saying. It steeps from the insecurities. Those insecurities, like Natalie says, or what you were saying, sorry, Symply Devine, that they know now that they can't trust you. They're not going to leave their phone open around you, or this or that or whatever, and then things are just going to get ugly and worse.
I think also as well, when you're aligned, I think one of your guests mentioned it, not guests, one of the comments about the third eye. With me, I don't have to search. If there's something I'm meant to see,
it's gonna come right in your face.
I don't need to look. I don't need to do. All I need to do is say, God, show me this person's true intentions. And it could be something as simple as, you know, somewhere and, you know, somebody's phone beeps and you see like a number, because this has happened to me like a few times, not with partners, but I've been sitting next to someone and I've seen their phone go off and a name's come up and I'm like, oh, you know that person? And they're like, oh yeah, how do you know them? And I'm like, oh, I've been talking to them. They're like, oh yeah, that's my partner or whatever. I'm like, oh right, okay. You know, and I'm like, okay, well, obviously I didn't know. Just little simple things like that. And I remember my daughter telling me, I'll never forget this. She worked in a restaurant, a well-known chain, and a girl came in and was showing her friend a picture of the boyfriend, and one of my daughter's colleagues, it was her man. So as she was taking the money for the bill, she saw the girl showing. The girl said, oh yes, my new boyfriend. My daughter said that the girl started shaking, dropped whatever it was, and she's like, what's the matter? And she's like, I've just seen this girl showing someone a picture of my boyfriend. And she asked my daughter to go and speak to the person. And obviously this person only just started dating him, had no idea. He'd been with the other girl for 3 years. So God has a way of revealing things to you without you having to go and search.
No, I agree. Michelle said, Amma said, same. Anyone has done me bad, it always comes to me, either partners or friends. I never have to look. My ancestors don't play when it comes to me. And that's, again, we're you know, we're protected, aren't we? There's a covenant. That's what my granny always said. We have the covenant, you know, and I believe that. I didn't believe it when she was alive. And that, you know, but my mum's passed away and my grand's passed away. My granddad has also passed away. And I honestly believe that those three people are keeping me safe. Like they're I've done stupid things, and a lot of it is because I've done stupid things. But I think majorly, like they kind of guide me. And I think about them a lot. So when I do have things to think about, I think, all right, my gran's usually the first one. What would granny do? Okay, that's what granny would do. Then what would my mum do? And then what would my granddad do? And I try and think of, you know, them, how they were and what I think they might do. So the ancestors, it's a big thing. It's a big thing.
Definitely. And we, like, was it you, Nassie? You said that you have that kind of intuition where you just kind of know stuff, and it might be as simple as, you know, you're driving home and something just says you turn off and go down that road. You go down the road to see your man's car parked up, you ring him, oh, where are you, babes? I'm at home. Oh, you're at home, are you? But you know, something within you just you were got in, you know, and what they call it, divinely guided to the truth. You can't even explain it.
100%. And Rodney MU said, is it justified if you find something? So he wants to know, is it then justified if you find something? I think that I don't know, it doesn't do you any good mentally, emotionally. It's not, and I'm not saying what I don't know won't hurt me. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, if you're in that space, you need to question everything. You need to question.
Like you said, you seek and you shall find, but you might find an innocent conversation or an innocent, something innocent that you've blown out of proportion. Because like you said before, you know, it's the perception of the perception. So this is what we're dealing with here. So if you're thinking, right, there's his phone, I'm going to go through his phone, you get in the phone and you're just scrolling for nothing. The first female you come across could be his cousin, for God's sake.
I was going to say that. And imagine the embarrassment. Like, it might be like, you know, him saying, oh yeah, you looked really nice last night, whatever. He went to meet his long lost sister that he didn't even know he had.
This is what I'm saying.
So, or you know, someone sent a picture and that person might have even passed away. You know, it might be a picture of a girl that he knew from before, she's passed away. You've gone cussed him about his picture in his phone. He's like, actually, that's my friend from school. Someone sent me a picture because she's passed. That's
what I'm saying. Not on, mate, not on. Right, I'm gonna share some of the comments then. Let's see what our public has said.
Right. Shame I didn't even know I answered.
Come on, Natalie.
What did I say? I said there's usually insecurity when this happens, sometimes warranted insecurities and sometimes not. Either way, if you do get to the point where you feel you need to check your partner's phone, it's time to assess everything. Either with them, yourself, the relationship, or all three.
Agreed.
I stick by that. Yeah.
I agree with you 100%. Nick said that the woman's inquisitive. My granny would have said you're too fast, but they. Oh look, Lynette said it, too fast or insecure. Yeah.
Melissa Gold said, my partner did that to me 2 weeks ago. Saw that I had sent a selfie to a friend I've known for 32 years. Called me a cheater. I've not seen my friend for over a year. In his eyes, it's cheating. The names he called me.
Oh.
Wow, that's deep.
So
was it a naked picture?
I know, Melissa. Was it a one that he?
Was it a questionable picture? Why did he react like that?
Yeah. Okay, but so Lenore said, "I hope you told him where to go," and she said, "No, I hate to say it, no."
Yeah.
Lenore said, us queens are not here to be called names, hun. Seriously, you're better than that. And, you know, again, you can't, you know, you can't be with someone that doesn't trust you, I believe. And I mean, this is a typical, like we said, it's something that's been blown out of proportion. You know, I hope it was just an innocent picture, but obviously it's been all blown out of proportion. So now she knows that, poor thing, how's she gonna cope with that? Right, that's Olu coming.
Is that Olu coming? Because I had a serial cheater one day send me a screenshot from my Facebook. Serial cheater.
Turn your background down, Olu.
One day send me a screenshot from my Facebook. Serial cheater.
Turn your background down, Olu. Getting feedback. There we go.
Yeah, so I had a serial cheater who I think he just wanted to have something on me because I think I kept finding things. This is many moons ago. So one day I woke up to my phone, not where I left it, but when I got my phone, he then sent me screenshots from a Facebook conversation I had with someone 2 years before I even knew my partner at the time existed. You really thought you sent me something. So to me, I was like, you were so looking to throw dirt on my name because you were judging me by your standards.
Exactly.
So many times that you went and sent me a message that between me and the ex-partner 2 years before on Facebook. Why are you in my Facebook? 2 years before I knew you existed. Yeah, so there's things like that as well. Sometimes people judge people as well by their own standards.
Definitely.
And again, it's because that's how they operate. It's a projection. They automatically think that everyone is operating from that
level
or from that level. And it's like, no. And I saw myself explaining to him and I was panicking. Do you know that it was so bad? I panicked at first and I was like, no, it's nothing. And I thought, what the fuck? Thing. I haven't spoken to this guy in ages. Then I realized and I looked and I was like, no. And I sent myself screenshotting it and circling the date.
Oh my God.
You're an idiot.
Yeah, like, big time.
You gotta I think I understand why some women have done it, because I think sometimes when you're in love, the love can blind certain things and emotion, and I think sometimes it's warranted. And when I say sometimes it's not warranted because some women are given reasons to feel suspicious. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
But sometimes you're not given reasons. Sometimes you can be sometimes you find a love and you feel so attached to a person that sometimes you self-sabotage, or you think you're going to lose it because you like it so much. You just want to hold on to it and suffocate it and squeeze it, and you're insecure about things that are not there because you think that it's going to go or that something else is going to take it. So there's so many different layers to it and elements. I don't think it's like one blanket kind of situation, or it makes a woman this. It literally depends from where the intention is coming from, or where that has stemmed from, or where they are to make them do that. Sometimes we do it, but again, if I feel like I need to do it, I can say that now. But at the time, I felt that I was well justified and felt like I had, look, see, I knew I had to look, see, look, found what I was looking for. I felt really kind of justified for that. But in the end, now what? Because now, now what? So what does that do? What does that do for you? And why are you there? Really? So, yeah, it depends. Hi, Olu.
Hi, ladies. How are you?
Hello.
Good.
Finally got through.
To Symply Devine.
Hi, Divine.
Hi.
Hi. Yeah, I just want to... Can I just make a contribution there? With regards to going through people's phones, I remember many years ago, I had a friend. He suspected that his girlfriend might be cheating, because it always comes from somewhere. Somebody said, oh, I've seen your girl with this guy, blah, blah, blah. So he decided to go through her phone. And in doing so, he couldn't find anything. And that made him more angry. And I've always said, once you go down that path, be prepared for whatever you find.
Yeah.
Because you've got to look at the mindset. If you think your partner has something to hide, then you're really in the mindset where if they do something, if I find it, I'm going to do A.
Yeah.
If I don't, I'm going to find B.
Yeah.
So you've got to be prepared for whatever you find. And it's amongst guys now. I mean, guys have got this code. Back in the day, if you're with a woman and you're in a space, don't go for her things, don't touch anything, because you might see something that you're not supposed to see. And you know, once you see something, you can't unsee it.
You can't unsee it.
You see,
Can't unsee it, boy.
and the amount of brothers that have got burned from that. Because the thing is, if you go for a woman's things, yeah, and you see something, you can't confront her unless you got some big chest, because she's like, why give me my things? So now the argument's cool.
Yeah.
You see now. And it also happens the other way around. If you go for a guy's things and you find something, he's going to switch to, why give my things?
Yeah,
so what you found is
what it's
irrelevant.
about. Yeah.
So you got to be very careful here. You see now, got to be very, very careful. I mean, if you're going down that route, there's many ways you can get a private investigator and let them do it.
That's deep.
I know people who've done that as well. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Do that.
Time to go,
Yeah.
man. It's
Yeah.
time to go. It's time to go. Definitely.
Yes.
And then I'm going to break bread and pay someone.
Which is
That's
what
what
I'm
I
saying.
was
If you're
gonna
going down
say.
that,
These things cost
you've gone
money
down
now.
that route, your mindset's already there, isn't it?
Exactly.
Mm.
You're going to find something because you're determined to find
Yeah.
something. Whether what you find is correct or not, you will find something. It's better that if you feel like you cannot trust the person, leave it alone. Do both of you a favour, you know, because your inner peace is more important than anything.
Yeah.
And if you're constantly tormented by the fact that your partner might be being unfaithful or disrespecting you, you're not going to have that internal peace. So once my peace is disturbed, bye. Nothing is worth more than my peace.
Yeah, 100%.
No, agree.
And also another thing to consider as well is sometimes truth is stranger than fiction. So you may see something and actually it's not what you think it is.
Yeah, Symply Devine was saying
So
that.
again,
Exactly.
I know a friend one time, he decided to, you know, back in the day, you've always got that guy who can phone up, say, yeah, let's go and camp outside. I'm sure she's got a man, let's wait outside the yard.
Oh my God.
You know, you don't get back. You know that you would have got that friend you can always call, yeah? So anyway, on this occasion, went outside the yard, a brother came out.
Oh.
Now what?
Exactly.
Now we're gonna do now. So man moved to, oh, you this, blah, 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 blah. It was her cousin.
See?
Exactly, make a fool of
Oh.
See?
So
And this is what I said.
Be very careful. Got to be very careful.
Yeah, because black people be having cousins.
Yeah.
Upon cousins.
Like we
That you
got
don't meet
cousins
till you're
for
in your
days.
40s. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's true. It's true. It is true.
Yeah, it's crazy. Crazy.
It's
I want to
crazy.
see what some more of these comments are saying. We got quite a few
So
there.
Olu got through in the end then,
He
eh?
got through. He got through.
I was determined.
It's 2 hours late, but we will discuss that offline.
Ian says, if you go for my phone, don't ask me no question because I never send you in there.
Exactly.
A woman going through a man's phone has serious issues and vice versa. Agreed. We said that. Jasmine said, there's no trust in the relationship initially. Depends on when and how far into the relationship. There is usually an instinct or behavior from him repeatedly that makes her go through his phone. If not, none of the above, she's an outright nutter who just likes going through people them phone. Last but not least, if I ever get that inspiration to go through his phone, I'm in the wrong relationship.
Yeah.
Patricia said, period.
Yeah.
No, it's true.
Outright nutter.
Outright nutter. You just want to go through the people them things.
Yeah. I mean, do you remember that program on the internet recently? Where Blue Therapy?
Yeah, Blue Therapy, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
And the girl was like, going through his social media and stuff like that. I mean, it's deep now. You know, it's deep. And you've got to understand, even in a relationship, the other person has a right to retain some sort of individuality.
That's right. 100%. 100%.
You know?
Rodney Mew in the comments has said, is it justified if I find something?
No.
Yeah, we read that one.
Did you read it?
Yeah.
What did you guys
Two
say?
wrongs don't make a right. Two wrongs don't make a right.
No.
And you still violated them, whether you find something or not. It's still a violation, isn't it? So, yeah. Nah, I don't think so at all.
Okay.
Just ridiculous. That is a ridiculous.
Yeah.
Just like you can't do that to people, because like we said, two wrongs don't make a right, and you're violating someone's privacy, and everyone is entitled to their privacy.
Yeah.
Whether you know,
when you did it, Nikki, that's not what you was thinking then when you did it.
It wasn't. No, and I'd done it, but again, that's what I was saying. I was in the mind because I was thinking something ain't right. I knew something ain't right, and I did ask. I put it out there first, and obviously I was told no, you know. But yeah, I did. But then that's what I'm saying. I did it, but then done fuck all with what I found. So what was the point of me doing it in the first? All I done was damage myself more.
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is, if you feel big and bad to go through your man or woman's phone, then do it. But be prepared for what you might find. Be ready to. If you're
it could get you right.
This is what I'm saying. You have to be prepared for what you're going to find, and then when you do find something, what you're going to do with that? What you find? Are you ready to change? Because
you can't unsee it.
You can't unsee something, you know. And once you say that to that person, you can't unsay it. So for me, that's what I said. I wouldn't dream of going through my husband's phone, and you know, I can't put my hand in fire, but we've never had an instance where he said to me, "Oh, who's that? Who's that phone in your?" No, just don't, because we don't have that. We're not in that place. We're not in that space.
Not that type of relationship. Do
you know what I'm saying? And we got, you know, the type of marriage that I'm in. We have to trust each other, because like Olu says, we both maintain our own individuality. I'm Mrs., he's Mr., but he's got his brethren, I've got my brethren. And then we do things as mum and dad, as a couple. You know, we've got our spaces that we fill up together, spaces that I fill up on my own, spaces that he fills up on his own. So I wouldn't even dream of going through his mobile phone, because I know there's women's numbers in there. I know he has conversations with women and all of that. So what am I looking for?
Also, I think, sorry, in this day and age, isn't it normal to have pictures in your phone? Because those pictures could have been there, don't know how, won't talk about you just in general. That picture could have been there from before you got together. You know, sometimes you keep a little library. Some people library of memories in their phone. Not that you're going through looking at your gallery every day, but they're just there. You might have had an ex-partner, you've got lots of good memories together, and even though the relationship's done, you don't want to necessarily get rid of those memories, because not every element of the relationship might have been negative.
Absolutely.
You want to keep those memories, and if your partner looks in your phone and takes everything out of context, why have you still got these pictures, whatever the case may be, people are entitled to their privacy.
Relax, man.
It's true.
Yeah.
And even if you did want to look in it every single day, I mean, obviously it depends on the catalogue, but it doesn't necessarily mean
that you're out there doing shit.
Yeah.
But you know what it is? I'm gonna throw something controversial out there. It depends on how secure you are in a relationship. Let me give you an example. What? At my age, back in the day, you know, the men had the secret little. Some men had their little stickers. They called the stash. Yeah.
What, stash of women?
I was gonna say with your link ups.
No, I'm not talking about that.
Oh, pictures, magazines.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Get that.
Now they subscribe to OnlyFans.
So man would hide that in his room, and inevitably the girlfriend would always find it. Yeah. Now, has the guy done something wrong?
No.
See, because back in the day, that was something physical, tangible you could find. Now, nowadays, it's on people's phones, and phones have become people's part of the extension of their personality. You know, So now, especially the younger people, that's why when they violate on the phone, they take it so personal. But I think our generation, we can detach ourselves from that. Say, well, you know, it's only on the phone. It's not that deep. But to them, it's part of their being.
Yeah.
You see now. So if you are talking to another person that your person doesn't know on the phone, it is considered as cheating.
Yeah.
Well, have you guys heard of the term micro cheating? A micro, which I only heard about this when I did a podcast with another group. A micro cheating is things like, you know, flirty conversations, sending or receiving pictures. So you're not physically cheating, but you are still doing things behind your partner's back that you know they wouldn't approve of. So it's called micro cheating, going into people's DMs on social media and sending flirty messages and stuff. It's all known as micro cheating. So it is a thing.
I know someone who went through that type of thing where her partner had 2 phones and she managed to get into the other phone, which is not his normal phone, and then found that he had a whole different persona and was messaging women.
Ooh.
Was messaging women on dating apps and stuff, and sending nudes and stuff like that. He promised her that he'd never met anyone and he'd never cheated on her physically. But in my eyes, you've violated me and you abused my trust.
How are you supposed to trust that?
If I find my husband or my partner has got a next phone and if your name is Bob and you're calling yourself James and you're sending these women dick pics, this literally sending dick pics and receiving pictures of women underneath and stuff, that's a violation. That's abusing my trust. You might as well have had sex with her.
Yeah, but Nikki, can I just address that? There are many issues you've touched there. He's gone out to create another identity to pursue women. That is cheating. That's cheating.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because the intention was there, so much so you create a separate identity. So that is clear cheating. But if he's just receiving stuff on his thing, and that's his team, because remember, that could be magazines, or pornographic material, whatever it is.
I see what you mean.
That's different.
But I say what I would say is different in that sense is if you find on your man's phone that he's been visiting Pornhub or some other place, to me that's the same as finding a porn magazine or whatever under the But if a woman is sending you nudes, that's something different.
Because it's opening a gate, isn't it? It's like when
something
you start to do those things, that's
totally different.
You are opening the gateway to cheating, because I would say that even in the most secure relationships, sometimes you're in a situation away from cheating, meaning all it takes is the right
for you
person
to say yes
at the right time, where you're in a state of vulnerability or whatever the case may be, and in a split second of losing yourself, you can cheat.
And also you've got to understand as well, the word cheating now used to be a physical thing. Now it can be something done virtually. So for example, subscription to OnlyFans.
Nah, that's not cheating. Nah.
Really?
Nah.
What?
OnlyFans.
No, I wouldn't say that's cheating.
But isn't that just like Pornhub?
Yeah.
Subscription is subscription based, isn't it?
Where do you draw the line?
Subscription based pleasures.
If your partner wants to kick off to the bathroom and with his phone and look at videos, that's his business. That's his private time. I wouldn't have an issue with that if that's what he wants to do. If he wants to go, but having one-on-one conversations with someone he could possibly meet up with at a time that me and him might have a disagreement, and she goes, "Oh, what are you up to?" "Oh, her at home's annoying me," and she goes, "Oh, why don't you just come in for a drink?" Next thing you know, he's gone for the drink, and whatever the case may be, that is cheating. That is dodgy. But looking at
so Divine, he's physically gone out of his way to make contact with that person. But I would consider if, for example, my partner decided she went to a male version of OnlyFans and she's saying, "Show me your dick, I'll pay for money for this," that's cheating in my book. Blatant, that's cheating for me.
Okay, if he told you about it, if she said to you, "Babes, it's a fantasy of mine, and I get excited by seeing pictures, and you know, I'm gonna go on OnlyFans. This person's in America, she's never gonna meet them, but she's told you, she's open about it. She says, you know what, babes, it's my fantasy to get pictures of random penises. Like, would that be cheating? She's told you.
Divine, how many women you know are that open?
Me.
Right.
This guy, you know.
It's true though, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I mean, like, so even going back, like when my brother was getting married all these years ago, a few years ago now, I think, you know, Omar said, come, let's go to a strip club, a strip bar or whatever. So my brother's wife to be at the time was like, oh my God, do you know where they're going? I said, where are they going? They're going to a strip club. And I was like, good for them. Like, it's his dad do. And then what he's supposed to do? She was like, he's not going. And I said, well, good luck with that. Because I'm not telling my partner at the time, husband, that you can't go nowhere. Do you know what I'm saying? You can express that you're not happy, but what's he going to do? Like, literally, he's going to go into this club. He's going to pay money to watch some woman jiggle her tits about in a G-string. You can't do nothing. You can't touch. You can't do nothing. What's your problem? Like,
it's a minor. If you're secure in yourself, those little things that worry you, like, I don't understand women that get in an uproar because their husband or partner watches porn. I'm like, okay. Like, I don't understand what the problem is.
Yeah,
like, why are you getting upset?
But you know what it is? From my point of view.
I would say,
Sometimes they disconnect from you though and are more connected. Chris Rock said his whole marriage broke up because he was addicted to porn.
That's what I was going to say. If there's an extreme, so it can become an issue if your partner is so into porn that he's neglecting you and you know, forgetting that you're around. And I totally agree, it's an issue. But everything in moderation. You know, if he wants to every now and again, when you might be on time in a month, or you're not feeling well, or you've just had a baby, or whatever the case may be, and you're unable, or you're going through a period of celibacy, because some people practice celibacy within their relationship, and he still needs to be satisfied. Do what you want. No, not do what you want. Watch your videos.
And also as well, remember, on this, I don't want to talk about porn, but we are anyway. When
I went to get my mum a cup of tea and I've come back and we're talking about porn. But what happened?
I'm talking from a male perspective now. It's a form of escapism. It's a fantasy. Just because you're looking at a certain woman in terms of the porn and your partner might be different, I think some women equate it to, oh, is that what you like now? You see now? And so they get insecure that way. But if you say, listen, this is what I do, it's not about, it's about what does it for me. Subconsciously, you've got to reassure her and say, listen, baby, you might be slim and the porn is big women. You see now? So it's really about reassuring that person, it's not about you, it's about me.
So question, Olu, you said earlier that if your lady was to subscribe to a particular place, you would consider that cheating. But why is it not the same for her?
Because men can separate sex from that emotional ties with relationships. Women, they're more emotional. So if a woman is actually thinking, it's one thing visualizing it. If you're putting your money in your pocket as a woman and paying for that, you're halfway there.
As in, sorry.
If the guy's shaking his penis and he lives in New Jersey somewhere, what doesn't matter, does it?
There's something called penis envy for guys, you know.
Oh my God.
Oh, now we're getting to the
for girls. Like, it's I don't get the
just like we have flat stomach syndrome.
Don't get me started on that. Don't wind me up to die. Rodney asked, what if your woman works for Pornhub? How about that?
You better not be insecure.
If women at a pajama party go overboard with a male stripper.
What's overboard?
Well, we've seen some videos, haven't we, in the past where the male strippers had it off with the person celebrating and next minute the man's not married.
Remember when
Have you seen the videos?
Oh, yeah, Chocolate City.
There was a couple of incidences. There was Chocolate City where girls went wild. Relationships broke up over that because when videos started.
Because the man then was bending over the girl on the stage. brocking them up, bending them over. Didn't he brock up one and bust up her neck?
Yeah, because he dropped her, innit?
No, but I don't think that would end the relationship. I think because at Chocolate City, afterwards you could have
There were some
opted to have
fellatio.
private dances.
Yeah, there were some things that the
Yeah.
So you could get to choose which. I'm not speaking from experience, by the way. You could get to choose which
There's a
stripper
nice
you
smile on
wanted
her
to
face
spend.
there.
You wanted to spend, I think it was like 10 or 15 minutes with in a private room. Now, for me, most men probably would not want their woman to do that. And obviously, from what I heard, I actually became really good friends with one of the strippers, one of the American strippers. And he was telling me that after the show, a lot of crazy stuff went down. You know, women would be like, you know, going home with the strippers, things that happened in the tour bus and things like that, hotel rooms and all the rest of it. But, you know, if you know you've got a man, if you know you have a man, the responsibility is on you to conduct yourself appropriately, because you can get excited and caught up in the moment of the strip club or whatever the case may be, but you have to keep your head about you. You have to set your moral compass. If you are single, do what you want.
Yeah, but I mean, do you remember like all 20 years ago, we used to have strippers in rave clubs, you know, and the women used to go
I don't
mad
know
that
what
they
kind
didn't
of
see man
club
before.
you was going to.
Players, they used to have it in Players.
What you mean when they had
Like, remember Satisfaction? That
I was gonna say, yeah, that
remember
was
back in the day, yeah, right, okay. Right,
yeah, I do remember that.
Right. Do you remember how women used to go crazy like they've never seen man
Yeah,
before?
yeah.
These were middle-aged women, you know.
It was a bit.
And I know firsthand what used to happen after some of these events.
How do you know firsthand?
Firsthand.
Was you in the toilet?
Was you in Satisfaction, Ollie?
No, I was not in Satisfaction.
You sure about that?
No,
Was you hot chocolate in
I wasn't big enough. But it used to be crazy. Because they were like the black version of Chippendales, weren't they?
Yeah, yeah.
And every rave they went to, the women would go crazy. We're talking about fraying knickers on stage, black women, you know.
It was mad. It was
mad.
I went to 2 shows.
Mad.
Yeah, it was mad. It was mad. But I've never really I don't know. I've never really enjoyed. You know, I like dancers, so I don't mind watching male dancers. That's brilliant. But strippers just don't. I don't know. It just doesn't.
No, they just don't do it. It's cringe for me.
Yeah, you've always
and I
said
think
that,
the male anatomy is not very good looking. So the male anatomy.
Simply is like, what?
No, I don't think it's that good looking. I think it's a good tool. I don't think it's good looking.
I think it depends. Like, you know, some men have very pretty appendages. I think it depends on. But that's a whole other show.
That's
a whole other show. Yeah.
That's a whole other
yeah.
show. And can I just pick Olu up, please? You know, I've got to get you every time. He was like, you know, and these women, they act like they've never seen men before, and they were going on like this. And these are middle-aged women, you know. Olu, your coochie does not close for business, and your nerve endings do not die when you become middle-aged.
Yeah,
they
that's
are
fine.
allowed to get excited
I agree.
over the baby oil as well.
Let me respond to that. I agree, but you'd have thought they had some decorum when they're in public and you've seen see a partially naked man and they're losing their minds that they've never seen man before.
What with all that baby oil? What do you want them to do?
Yeah, it is exciting.
Imagine.
Could anyone date a stripper here?
What's up?
Could anyone date a stripper here?
No.
Oh, why is that? Why is that?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting, ladies. Why is that?
For me, I've always said this. I always said, even when I was engaged, I said to everyone, let me tell you something right now. Don't you dare get me a stripper. They make me feel sick. Yeah.
Wow.
I don't like it. I'm like, oh, I don't like it. Don't gyrate your things in my face, your bat and ball. Don't want it. So I just don't like it. And then, but that whole physique is not for me either. So I think it's a lot I think it's literally just a preference thing, and then the whining, I don't like it.
Yeah.
So it's not because of
that.
the job, it's because it makes me, it's like the whole facade is cringe.
So all that Magic
me.
Mike thing is not for you, there, innit?
Yeah, it's not for me.
No, I'm not really a fan of all of that, and I can appreciate a good looking, handsome, well-built man. Of course, I can appreciate all of that. Like I said, I love male dancers because I feel it's worth it to watch a man dance. But strippers don't do it for me. They just don't.
Why could you simply?
A stripper is a person, like, you know, he's a person, he's got feelings, he's got emotions. It's a job that he does. It's saying, like, could you, you know, I wouldn't date an undertaker, I wouldn't date this, but I wouldn't date that. But at the end of the day, when he comes home, he is just
Well, even after your male stripper friend told you of what goes on the tour bus,
but
that would
I actually have a friend that is a stripper, and he's got a partner, a child. He's like, I'm not interested in seeing from no women. When they're doing what they're doing, he goes, I'll go to bed. He goes, I'm not interested in that. I like the whole kind of performing element of it. The women element does not excite me. So I think it's like a massive generalization to think that all strippers are out there sleeping women after the show. I think it's a very individual thing, and you know, I'm sure that, you know, strippers are, it's just very nice people. It's just an occupation. They like to entertain women. They are well endowed, so they're using it to their advantage. You know, it's a good way to make money and doing something you enjoy if you enjoy entertaining. So my friend wants to go into acting, and he knows that, you know, the stripping is giving him certain exposure, and then from that exposure he's been asked to do different things like music videos. So for him it's a route into the entertainment industry. So
no, that's fair
I
enough.
could, I could date a stripper. It wouldn't be my first choice, but if I met someone and they were really nice and we were aligned and everything fell into place, and they said, oh, by the way, I'm a stripper, I'm not going to discount them if up to that point I was feeling them, you know.
No, I get what you're saying, because I think it's the same thing with a DJ though, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Same sort of thing with DJ.
Stripper than a DJ. Date a stripper than a DJ.
Yeah. I don't know. I just get like, I feel like that I get quite possessive. I feel like, I don't think I am, because my husband's never told me that I'm possessive, and I'm not a person that's, you know, I'm not that needy kind of pick me person. That's not me. But I feel like I would be a little bit overbearing just by knowing what women might be like, you know. But then I say that my brother's a DJ on the jungle drum and bass scene, and my sister-in-law has a flipping heart failure every time he goes to play out.
Why?
Because of the women, that the same sort of thing. She must think he's a stripper, because it's the same reaction. Like, he almost has a heart failure when he goes out and he DJs. And my brother's the same. He will go, he will do his set, he will finish, he might have one drink if they're lucky, but he's normally home by 1 a.m. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's not into all of that. He doesn't stay out. He goes, he makes his money, and he goes back home again. So
I guess it goes back to what Symply was saying. Sometimes it just takes just the situation, you know, the right time and the right situation and the right person for it to go the way that you don't want it to go. So I guess it's more opportunity than that fuels insecurities, doesn't it?
But I think a decent person that respects his relationship, or her respects her relationship, they're not going to put themselves in that situation. So it doesn't matter if you're, you know, pastors have affairs. I don't think it's to do with the occupation, it's to do with the mindset of the person. And if that person weighs up, okay, what am I gaining against what am I losing? Okay, I'm gaining have sleep with this person for a couple of nights or a couple of weeks, whatever. I'll get fun. But actually, this is what I've built over here with this person. We've built a nice home. We've got our children. You know, we've got plans, whatever, you know, to retire, wherever, Ghana, Jamaica, whatever the case may be. If that person thinks I'm not willing to jeopardize that for this, you don't have to worry. It doesn't matter how many women throw themselves at him, how many men throw themselves at the woman. If that person has a mindset for their partner, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm on social media a lot. My partner never have to worry. You know, I get people in my DMs morning, noon, night. Some are quite nice actually. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know, but my mind isn't there.
Yeah.
My mind isn't there.
Yeah, and like you said, it's just the right time, the maybe the right person, right time, wrong situation, wrong mindset, which then tumbles into something. And that's what I kept telling my sister-in-law, like, listen, you need to worry about the girl that's serving him in the sweet shop, not the girls that are dancing in the club, because it could be anybody. Like, do you know what I mean?
Don't worry, because at the point where what we resist persists. At the point where you start to worry about your partner being unfaithful, you start to attract that situation to yourself, because you'll start behaving in a way that will be conducive to arguments start happening. When the arguments start to happen, you start to grow apart. You're growing apart. There's opportunities for him to build positive relationships with women outside of you. The woman that is, you know, you're meant to be his peace. When he comes home, he wants to be like, hi babe, you're right, how's your day, dinner, blah, blah, blah. Not like, oh, so who was you talking to today? He's going to stop wanting to come home to you. And relate it to your children. I've got a son, and my son said to me, all you do is complain. And he says, I don't even want to come home from school. And I had to take heed of that. Every single time, from the minute he comes through the door, I'm like, you left all the lights on in the house, you didn't put your bowl in the sink, this, that. I'm like, you know, of course he's 13, he's young, but if I continue doing that to him, as soon as he comes through the door, bombarding him with the things that he has not done, he's going to say, do you know what, actually, I don't want to go. What's the point in going home? My mum nicely. All my mum does as soon as I get through the door is complain at me. You know, what is that doing to my son's psyche? It's the same thing with your partner. Every single time it's a question time, it's an accusation time. You say, what am I going home for? When the woman at work, Sue at work, or you know, whatever, Carol at work, it's always like, oh hi, how are you? Shall I make you a cup of tea? He's going to start wanting to spend more and more time at work.
Divine. Quite simply, the man just wants peace and property with his wife when he comes home.
Exactly. And food.
And dinner.
No interruptions when there's football.
And dinner. And the best thing to do is just, you know, what you need to do is become his friend's friends. That's what you need to do. Not spying. You know, if you're with somebody, then, you know, their friends become your friends. I'm not saying to take their friends or spy on him, but you know, if you're with someone, then you should know their main friends, right? And he should know my main friends. And that's what I mean. The female ones as well as the male ones.
Yes.
You know, my husband's got probably a handful of very, very close, good female friends. And I will class them as friends as well now. Because we've been together for a long time. So I will class them as my friends. And there's certain times that they might call me and be like, oh, Nick, we're doing this, that, and the other. And then I'll say to him, oh, I'm going. He'll be like, oh, she never told me. Well, you're not invited. I am. So, you know, and I just think that's how it should be.
Yeah,
you know?
definitely.
I'm not going to look sideways at any woman that's my husband's friend. Like, I mean, come on. He was a man before he met me. He was a person, a whole person for however many years before he met me, and so was I. So I have male friends. He has female friends. Those people need to be respectful to my partner, and I need to be respectful to his friends as well. And it's vice versa. So
you're correct. It's important. I think the only time to worry is if your partner has friends of the opposite sex that they hide from you. That's when you need to worry.
No, that's not on.
I disagree there. I disagree there. And the reason why? Because sometimes, okay, let's put it this way. You meet a person, you like him, you get into a relationship with him, and then all of a sudden you realise there's all these women that he probably hasn't told you about. Sometimes the hassle of having to break down or explain how that person is a friend to you.
Yeah,
but that comes with time. It comes with time.
Yeah, but see now that confuses me.
It comes with time. You can't expect to know all your partner's friends overnight.
No, of course not. No one's saying that.
No, we were talking about in gender. You've been with a partner a couple of years. You should know their female friends.
But it took time.
Yeah.
They're a new female friend throughout the relationship. Maybe they met someone at work. If they're open about it, oh, babe, there's a really nice woman that's come to my workplace. Her name is whatever. There's no problem. If he is hiding or avoiding talking about this person, you know your radar has to prick up.
Yeah.
The reason why he's hiding his interaction with the person. But if he's open about, oh yeah, whatever, you know, Samantha from work, you know, even if she said she's pretty or whatever, it's like, oh, okay, cool, whatever. But it's when people are coy about things that puts your radar up. You're like, there's a reason why he's being evasive, probably because he might be her.
And that's probably not to do it. That's not that other person. It's your partner.
It's how they feel about that person.
Yeah. It's not about that other person. It's about that, you know, my husband or whatever man feels the need to keep it away from me. That's troublesome.
I agree. And similar with you, like if you meet someone new through work or a new man, I mean, I meet people on the road all the time. I'm not going to hide it. I'll be like, yeah, today I got, you know, I met this really nice guy actually that owns this supplement shop, and I was in there talking to the guy for 2 hours. I'm like, no, I've got to go and wetting myself. I've got to go to the toilet. I've got to go. But it's not a secret. It's not, you know, it's not a secret. You know, I can say, oh, you know, he's actually really nice. He was good looking as well. Dominic
Just say something. As men, we can't tell our partners that we met again and she gave us a hard on and we took them for 2 hours.
Maybe.
No, you're not.
It won't go down very well.
That's not what she says, Ollie.
That's not what she's saying.
You always got to take it there. That's not what she said.
But you know what? But there's certain women that their man could say that and they'd laugh about it. You know, I think it's how secure you feel in yourself, as a woman, first of all, and how secure you feel in your relationship. I think those are deciding factors. If a partner came to me and said, oh no, I met this girl, and you know what, my trousers got a bit short, I'd probably laugh. And I'd be like, do you know
I'm not there yet.
Nobody can take it.
I'm still in recovery.
Take it if I say, oh, I saw this guy and I looked like I was smuggling macadamia nuts. As long as he can take that,
macadamia nuts, that's hilarious. Oh gosh.
Well, 3 hours, Pete.
Yeah, I was just about to say we need to wrap up now.
Wow.
But to wrap up, Ollie, we wanted to ask a male perspective. Do you know, guys, that what's the term? Simply
semen retention.
Do you know, guys, that practice semen retention?
It comes under the era of sexual discipline. So there's a school of thought that some men believe that because it contains your life force, it's very important that you are particular where you put it.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So for example, those who do sports, like I used to fight, and I was always told by my trainer, before the big fights, don't have sex. Kills the legs. And top athletes, they refrain from sex because it makes them more edgy and it does sap something from you. Now we take it into the context of a man trying to fulfill his purpose. There are some people who believe that, you know what, sexual abstinence, or what they call sexual discipline, because that's what it comes down to. You're being disciplined about your sexual activity, can help you in terms of your concentration, and you filter out the rubbish. You see now, because if a man's focused on just chasing girl, something has to give. But if he's focused on, you know what, I ain't got time for that, and putting his energy into fulfilling his purpose, he's more likely to be more successful. So, you know, so I heard the conversation when you said probably the Japanese or the Chinese. Yes, there's a lot of things in that. And also somebody mentioned about you know, women are receivers, men are givers. You're putting your sting, like you're charging your battery. You've got to be very careful because, as I also heard, the transference of spirits, you know, of that sort of energy from one person is real.
Right.
It's real. Right? And some people, they know it, but as you say, once you know, you know.
Yeah.
You know. And there are certain things that you can't just pretend they don't exist. You know, which is why you have people who say, you know, after a very traumatic relationship, you have to cleanse, take time out, remove the bad from your space, see what's really going on. That's why we say, before you date someone, do some background checks, because that person may have something in them or their family that you inherited in.
DBS.
And you're not even aware of it. You're thinking, where's this craziness coming from?
DBS, whole health background check, everything.
Yeah, I've actually heard a guy say to me that he was dating. He was on a popular dating website. I don't know if we're allowed to say the name. Something to do with fishes. And and he said he met this girl and he slept with her. And he said from the day he slept with her, everything started going wrong.
Wow.
Things, house started breaking. He lost his job. And he said he believes that there was, because he said the minute he discharged, that he just felt different, and he looked at her and he was just like, "Can you leave?" And he said she just started acting weird, and he said that he believes that she brought him bad luck. So I said to him,
"Well, maybe if you just say, 'Can you leave?' straight after your discharge, that might cause someone to be a bit disgruntled."
She likes you after that, boy.
Curses. But
I think you need to do a cleanse now. You need to get your, your salt, your Himalayan salt, your Epsom salt, run your bath, put some lavender, some essential oils in there, say your prayers, immerse yourself in that water, ask God to separate your energies, because obviously you've merged energies with this person. You now need to ask to be cleansed and restored, for your own energy, your spirit to be restored back to you, and to have a energetic separation from this person. He's like, "Do these things work?" I said, "Well,
yeah, absolutely.
what you're doing now, can it? Everything's breaking in your house, and you ain't got no job now. You better hurry up and get that sorted, mate."
The only way is up.
Do you know what I mean? Try and sort up. Okay, well, I wanted to hear from a man, because I don't know, what's the longest period that, well, that's a bit personal, but I wouldn't. You're not gonna ask because you
Probably won't answering
for long,
this.
have you, Olu?
You're on the wrong show.
Wrong show.
Olu, you've not been celibate for long, then I take it.
How do you know?
Because
We're
you're
asking.
you need to ask the question. I didn't even get the question out, and you was like, "No."
No. What I will say is this, yeah.
Or do you know men who have had long stints of celibacy?
See, part of me says, you know what? Men who feel like that are simps.
Men who are who have
like
long periods.
A beta man, they're man who can't get girl. That's why they talk like that. Right?
So that answers the question about
there's
whether
people that
Olu
think like
has.
that. No, there's people that think like that. There's people that think like that. Oh, they just say that because they got no game. Yeah.
Oh.
Right.
Right.
But also, there's a school of thought that says, you know what? If that's what you're on, you can pay for that and still fulfill your purpose. Because the issue is this: it's not having sex; it's sexual discipline. And as men, sometimes it takes a long time for us to understand what that really means. It just means be more discerning when you put your things. You see now?
Yeah, because I think
more discerning. That's all it is. And if you're somebody who's highly
Didn't
sex,
answer the question.
pay for it. Just pay
he
for
never
it.
does.
What's that?
Natalie said you didn't answer the question, and I said you never do.
Yeah, but that what? Okay, I could say 6 months. It doesn't mean anything. That information is useless to you. It's the meaning of it, because sometimes you can meet when she goes, "Oh, I've been celibate for," and well, good luck for you. What does that mean?
It means that she's got sexual discipline, or he's got.
Exactly.
Yeah, it could be, yeah, the person is so traumatized and taking time out from the sexual game. You're seeing that. So there's many interpretations. So I don't ask somebody how long you've been celibate. I just say, if I was in a dating thing, I'd say, are you ready to encounter a new relationship? That's a more meaningful question to ask.
Okay, right. But we can ask you that. Yeah. What we are was Olu for president, because honestly, you're the real politician in this group. You answer things like a real Tory, man.
Exactly.
All the time.
So
what do you think, Nikki?
I think what we're trying to find out, Olu, is have you ever practiced sexual discipline?
And if you have people who do,
and if you do, does it actually work? Does it make a difference to your psyche, to your spirit, to your whole being? That's what we want to know. It's not about how long you've
let me give an example.
Does it make a difference?
Look, an example. Look, an example.
And these are two personal examples. Look.
We're going to get
two personal examples. like I said, I used to fight, and my trainer said to me, Olu, never have sex the night before competition. Yeah, it was a mixed martial arts competition. Yeah. And I remember I went all the way to Scotland. I was fighting. For some reason, we had to fight 3 times before I got a winning result. And I lost it. And I put it down to my partner, Tom, saying, it's all your fault, because you wouldn't leave me alone, you wanted something, da, 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 da. But when I look back, I already knew what I had to do. You see now, I just wasn't disciplined enough to want it that badly. So that's one example. Another example, when you take yourself out of that game and you exercise sexual discipline, you become more focused. You see now, you become more focused because,
you know,
do we? But this is what we're asking, because you're the only man on the panel. So is it? Do you actually become more focused? Is it Is it a build up in your inner psyche for you as much as it is?
No, it's not the physiological changes. It's the emotional.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
The mental toughness it gives you. Yeah. It's the mental toughness, because what you're saying is, you know what, the gal thing, I'm going to put over there right now, because that's a minor. I'm not going to put my energy into that. I'm going to put my energy into this. So you're sharper, you're more purposeful, yeah, you're more resolute in terms of what you're pursuing. Because my dad always said to this, whatever you practice, what you become good at. Yeah, that's why you get some people, some men, they're wicked guys because that's what they're perfected. That's all they know. But that's all they're good at.
More about that.
So that's what I was. But people, as you see, as when you get to an age, you mature. But as you get older, you realize, no, if I want it that badly, I can go and get there, pay for discretion, and come back to what I need to do. I'd have to run game and no girl. You see what I'm saying now? Because some people, they haven't got time for that, because a relationship is like an investment. You've got to work at it. You see now? So that's my take.
Thanks for not answering.
Yeah, you kind of answered it, but not completely.
That means not having it, you know.
Oh no,
I can't take it every time, and he gets away with it.
The original meme just basically said that we do the work spiritually, and would abstain from sex, but men don't, and we're trying to establish if that is true or not.
Some men do, but for different reasons. Like I just said to you, some men would say, "Oh, I'm not on that. I'm doing this." No, you probably, your game is weak, and you've been getting so much bun that's what you're saying to redeem yourself.
Olu.
No. Yeah.
Olu, been getting so much fun, you know.
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
Wow.
This is a test. When a man says that to you, look at his outcomes. That's what I'm going to say to you. If he's really doing bits, yeah, you can believe him. If you're just saying that you can't really see nothing tangible as a result of abstaining, he's just chatting. Even that way.
Okay.
You know. Well, and also, just to add as well, I heard someone said about men are into this connection thing. Lies.
I don't agree. That's a lie. Some men are the same, Olu. Some men do want a connection.
What does that actually mean? Hold on. What does that mean? Connection. Break it down for me. As a man.
That they actually want to feel like they like the person likes them. It's not just a physical thing. They don't just want to have sex. They actually
stop there. Men don't feel, men do. See, women feel, men do. See the difference there?
So men
do. Men don't feel, they do. So when a man says to you, when a man says to you, right, on a date, I feel this connection. What he's saying is, I sense this sexual energy between us. You mean that's what he's tapping into. He might use the words so he gets online with what you're feeling. Trust me.
So we're saying that. We're saying that, yeah. When a man says that, he's chatting rubbish.
Crap.
It's just a sexual thing.
No, what I'm saying is this connection.
But you said,
right? This connection.
You said it.
Right? No. I know what I said. Don't misquote me. I know what I said. Yeah. This connection, if you say, someone says, they're not into this connection thing. I'm saying, what does that actually mean? Are you talking about sexual energy, sexual attraction, a meeting of minds? What does that actually mean?
It's all sexual for a man, nothing more.
I was gonna say.
Some conversations with guys, and actually, they like talking to me. So it's not sexual.
Okay. Let me give my perspective. If you're talking to guys and they like talking to you, it's A, you don't want to have sex with them, or B, they know it's not going to happen.
I'm done.
I don't agree.
don't agree.
We've got to go
So you're
work in the morning. So we're going to let her go.
We have some other guys on to challenge Olu, because I would like to have a different perspective from a guy, because I'm pretty sure some of your Bravado guys are quite emotional and in touch with their feminine sides. And are still out.
Name them. No, don't make blanket statements. Name them. Don't just say things like that. Name them.
You're blowing no one up on here tonight, Olu.
No, because you can't just make you say about some of them. No, because by inference, what he said is that I'm not. Name these people then, if you're so confident. There aren't any.
Hold on, Olu, but you can say you may not need.
You know, 1,000 of them, do you?
We haven't got 1,000.
But Olu, you might not need the connection to be able to seek someone, but I'm sure that for every one man that doesn't, there's one man that does. Because
that's not what I said, Devine. I didn't say it me. No, I didn't say that. Don't. I see what you're doing here.
Look at the politician. Look at the politician that you did.
It's so great to watch. You can learn a thing or two from Olu, you know, I swear, on how to not answer questions and just get by.
You 100% said it.
No, what I said is
have you never felt connected to no female?
No, you said men.
I said some men. I didn't say me. I said some men. I said that's
men.
why I gave you two opposing views to it. I just said that's how I started off. Some men might say it like this. Some men might say it like that. I didn't say my view.
How do you see it?
Yeah. Yeah. Have you ever felt connected to someone?
Oh, but you ain't answering that.
I am. Natalie, I'm going to answer that question, yeah? I'll use that word before. Listen, I've used that word before. Only because I couldn't use
connection out of it.
Because because in during that time I couldn't use the word I really wanted to use.
Which was?
I'm feeling you.
Sexually.
Yes.
But not.
So are you saying that you didn't feel it, but you've not felt that connection, but you just said it?
No. Okay. Remember when I said to,
so you lied?
No. Trisha said to me, she knows guys where they've said they've got a connection, but she doesn't want to sleep with them. The guys are very simple. Don't make it come. We're very simple. If we're attracted to you, we want to have sex with you. End of. If we're not attracted to you, we'll have all the connections that you want. It's not going to happen. You see that? We're very simple.
All right, let me give you a different example. There was a guy that I dated after a while. Yeah. So we talked.
Was he a connection guy?
Yeah, we liked each other. We talked.
Don't answer.
No, but later on, as we started to date, he said to me, I wasn't really looking for a relationship, but as I spoke to you and I got to know you, I like you. So, and then we had a relationship and he stuck around. But that wasn't his intent in the beginning.
Okay, so when you first met him, were you attracted to him?
To a degree, but I was a little bit not sure because I just felt like.
So therefore, when you first met him, he was in a friend zone, wasn't he?
Well, everyone's in a friend zone when I first meet them.
Okay, but I'm talking about you. So generally, when you met him, it wasn't like, oh wow, you thought, you know what, I like you, and as you got to know him, things developed. Yeah.
Right.
So what I'm trying to say to you is now, you took him on that basis as a friend, and vice versa with him. You see now, and it bloomed into something else. What I'm saying is, a lot of people, upon initial contact, remember, with men, we're very visual. Before you open your mouth, we're attracted to you physically.
Right.
And then it's a case of, okay, what does she sound like? Is she a nice person? And you might get points or lose points as opposed to what happens after that. Men are very visual. With women, a woman can like a guy physically. He opens his mouth, she might think, what the hell is that? And just go right off him.
Yeah.
True. Yeah. Keith says the majority of self-confident men are sexual predators, and as much as they would like to be celibate, attraction would love to be. I can't see it. Hang on. Why I embarrassed myself without my glasses. Majority of self-confident men are sexual predators, and as much as they would like to be celibate, attraction would love to be acted out, but can become friends of a sort.
There are people that have been put in a friend zone and they've been let out by the woman.
Okay. But he's basically saying the majority of self-confident men are sexual
predators. So they are just looking at something.
Just confirm what I said, yeah. You know?
Do you think that's true?
I don't.
I don't think that's true.
I don't think that's
they have
true.
more choice.
Unless I'm just shit at reading men then, because...
Do you remember the film When Harry Met Sally?
Yes. When they're in the restaurant.
What's that film all about?
Him
I
trying to
don't
sleep
remember.
with her.
I never
Men
watched
and
it.
women can't be friends because sex always gets in the way, isn't it?
Right, that's...
One
that
of my
was
best friends is Mel, and I've never had sex with him.
That's because you probably don't fancy him. That's why. He wants
You
to have
don't
sex with
fancy
you.
me, and I don't fancy him.
You don't know that, Trisha.
I do know that. If he fancied me, he'd say, yeah, I reckon.
Not everyone's that bold, you know.
No, apparently.
If he fancied her, he would have done
It would have, yeah,
it from long time.
my friend.
No, because men's egos are fragile and men are fearing rejection. So if a man is not 1,000,000% sure that you're into him, he's not going to try it because he doesn't want to be rejected.
Unless it's a dead cert. And you know what? You're going to test him. You're going to test him. Yeah? Tell him, tonight, I'm feeling a bit horny, my man. Come round.
No, this is awkward.
No, try that and see how fast you come out your yard.
No.
He'd laugh
He would
loudly.
laugh at me and be like, go and look after mum, yeah? That's what he would say.
I do think that a lot of men don't approach women, because I've been told this before, because they just think there's no way I'm going to say anything to her. So it's not because, and they sometimes then give you the impression that they don't like you, and it's not that they don't like you, it's just that the confidence to step to you is not.
The game is weak. They got weak game.
Olu.
Game is weak.
What's a
Game
strong
is
game?
weak. It's weak.
Oh no, what's strong?
Yeah, what is a strong game and what's a weak game, please?
This is a strong game. Let me say strong game.
Listen,
Yeah?
I'm there thinking
No,
simply.
let me answer the question. This is what a strong game looks like. This is strong.
You started it off again.
Sorry.
Strong game looks like this. I like you, and he tells you intention straight up. He doesn't care whether you say yes or no, because he's thinking if you say yes, it works for him. If no, it is what it is. That's a strong game. A weak game is he's hedging his bets. He's seen any people in the background. He fears that if I say no, I might lose a friendship, I might get embarrassed. That's a weak game. So he ends up in the friend zone, waiting for that phone call in the middle of the night when you're crying, oh, he did this to me again. Calm down. That's when he jumps in. That's a weak game.
You know, I have to agree with Ollie on that. I actually have to.
There you go. Thank you very much.
I don't agree.
No, but there are
Divine,
things
can you
that are-
explain why you agree?
So if you say yes, you say yes. If you say no, you don't. You say no, it don't make a difference to them. And then there's the other guy who's scared about being rejected, and he will wait until you're vulnerable. My friend calls them the break in case of emergency brothers. Yeah, that they're there for that time. That you're at your lowest point, you're bawling, they're like, oh, I'll come around to bring you some whatever, something to eat. You're there crying on their shoulder, and you're crying on their shoulder, they're looking at you sideways thinking, yeah, this is my opportunity.
Yeah.
Start to slip their hand in your bra whilst you're crying. I'd be so annoyed. I'd be so annoyed. Like,
there's guys out there though. There are guys out
like
there.
that.
No, I know.
so annoyed.
I agree. I totally agree. There's guys.
Have any of you ladies been told that you're not approachable, or the fear?
All the time.
All the
Natalie,
time.
have you been told that?
I get people in my inbox telling me I'm not approachable, but I'm like, but
why.
here you are.
Here you are. I get I've seen
One of the most confident people that I would say, quite confident, said it took him over a year to approach me just to say hello. Over a year just to say hello. Because I just looked that unapproachable.
Guys out there like that still. A year. 365
quite
days.
Confident, quite confident.
Hold on. And we have phone, we have email, and he couldn't tell you. There's any of those methods, even if you couldn't do it face to
Took him
face.
a year to say hello. Well, go on.
If I was going to date Trisha, if I was a guy and I was going to date Trisha, I would probably, I get it though, I'd probably be a mate first and then get in there from there. I wouldn't try and dive straight in because I know that she's a certain woman of a certain astute, you know, so I'd be like, I can see why men would try and,
Natalie,
you know.
When I say direct, I don't mean like a bull in a china shop. Obviously, there's some sophistication about it, but you would know where you stand with that guy. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but how soon?
That's irrelevant. But what you don't
Why
want
is
is
it
to
irrelevant?
Very relevant, because you could have moved on, had kids at picket fence, and all that. By the time it becomes relevant, then
Because
you would have missed the shot.
Because women are different. That's why you have to give respect. Women are different.
What?
But in terms of when you approach them. So what I'm saying is, when a man approaches a woman, yeah, it's better we stand with that man than not know. And then he tells you later, oh, I've always liked you, but I didn't know my time. That's a weak brother. You don't get with brothers like that. Trust me. Because what they've done is they've used your weakness or insecurities to attach a relationship to. You see now? So they played you basically. And so now you're giving them sympathy relationship.
I had a person that I knew in the industry when I was in the industry a lot deeper, quite a while ago. And it was just kind of high and by. We had conversations. They would like pop up for chat every so often, but nothing like that. And one day, I don't know why, we ended up having a long conversation in a party. This is about 4 years after I knew them. And they said to me, you know what, I always wanted to chat to you.
My God. What did you say to you?
I know. I always wanted to chat to you, but you don't have
Natalie,
that.
what did you think of him at that moment? What did you think of him at that moment?
I was just like, oh, this is awkward, because I don't like people talking to me. I get awkward in those situations. I'm an awkward person.
What did you think of him as a man?
I reckon that energy probably transfers, because everyone says it like this, but it's just like, oh, you don't know how I'm gonna.
It's uncomfortable, not for you, for him. But how did you feel about him when he told you that?
Nothing. I just like, oh, okay. I never got that from you. That's what I just thought.
Olu wants you to say that he was a pom-pom, innit, Olu?
No, I'm not saying
that.
No,
I didn't feel like he was a pom-pom.
The fact is this, which is quite interesting. She wasn't attracted to him. So he didn't even register on the radar. So when she got, she's like, oh, it's a bit awkward. I saw you as a friend, and now you're telling me this. So that's the point I'm trying to make. She wasn't attracted to him. You see now? So guys because there's some guys who are very skilled at doing that, they'll be your friend. They'll be the guy who can call at any moment. He'll pick up anytime you're distressed. They wait for that phone call at your lowest moment.
But you know what? He wasn't my friend. He was someone, like people that in the industry or the circuit. And you kind of like, hi, and they follow you and you follow them, but you don't chat. They might like a picture every so often, or they might respond to a story or a thingy once in a blue moon, but you're not friends like that. And then one day,
he had the courage.
He would like things all the time. Very confident person, not ugly person, got girl. He's in a very, let's say, got fame. It's not going to be short of thingy. So my thing was, why would you be scared to approach me?
Because you could reject him. And that would kill his ego.
Yes, rejection.
Yeah.
But some of the most confident guys, that's what she's trying to say. It's not as if he doesn't have, he seems to be confident. And it's not as if
you're a famous person. Like you're not short and you're not an ugly person. You're very well established, very highly respected. So for me, there's a part of me, I tell you what, I did thought of it. It was a bit awkward and I said I never got that from you. But there was a part of me that thought, okay, like didn't believe it. I wasn't interested anyway, so it's not like if I did believe it, then I would have been interested.
There you go, yeah.
But
also, there's a difference between outer confidence and inner confidence. And lots of people have outer confidence, but deep down inside, insecure.
That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, that's what I say. Man who's got real game. You know what? You met the guy before. You may like that, and you could tell back and say he doesn't care. He's going to the next girl because he backs himself every time. He could be short. Not going about short people. He could be not appealing to you physically, but he's so confident.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of African guys like that. They back themselves.
They believe in their magic. Yeah,
they do. They do.
You would say to yourself, you're bright to even come up to me because he believes he could.
Yeah. Or the people that go for the two friends don't care. You're openly pursuing Trisha. You're openly pursuing Trisha. Now you're openly pursuing me. Are you okay?
No, he's okay because he's confident. That's the difference.
Yeah,
he's confident.
He's increasing his odds. He's increasing his chance.
He's playing the numbers game.
Someone.
Oh my God.
And a guy like that, I do have to rate actually a guy that, you know, he may not be the best looking, but he might have that golden personality to make you laugh, and he will approach you. And the thing is, you end up giving him the time of day because he's charming and he had the confidence to approach you, even though you might be thinking, right, do we look like we're on the same level? But the fact that he had that confidence, and when you end up speaking to him, you're like, actually, he's all right. Next thing you know, you've gone a couple of dates. Next thing you know, you're in a relationship.
And hear the joke, Divine. Hear the joke now. He knows he's not good looking and doesn't bother him. He knows it doesn't bother him. Yeah, he knows. Yeah,
but he'll make sure his shoe game's on point. He smells amazing.
He makes you laugh.
And he can make you laugh. Yeah.
You laugh your way to take off your knickers. That's how. That's
he knows,
part of his skill set. Yeah.
And he knows that's what he's got to do.
Yeah.
That's what he's got to do. Yeah.
Well, you'll get a good-looking brother. You'll get a good-looking brother who physically looks like that the part, and he will take, like you say, a year to even say, "Boy, I like you. I've always liked you, man." Huh? You couldn't even tell me. I thought you was.
Yeah.
I'm saying that.
The short guy,
saying.
He will please you in the bedroom because he knows
he's got to work.
He knows everything's on point, so he's not going to be selfish in the bedroom. He is going to pull out all the stops to make sure that it rains, yeah, to make sure you have to put up the umbrella.
The squirt.
And I heard about that squirting thing, you know.
Yeah.
So hang on a minute, Olu. So you were actually watching the show when you should have been on the show?
No. I was driving home. I was driving, yeah. So I couldn't while I was driving. I mean, so I thought,
okay,
that's what it was. So I listened to the whole show, and the squirting thing is quite interesting because I know women who have been embarrassed by that.
Yeah.
Because I think in our community, it's frowned upon, isn't it? Like, oh, you're nasty, you wet the bed, you dirty girl, and things there. Well, actually, it's quite an experience that very few women would actually experience. Yeah.
I might sign up to a workshop because I don't know how you could teach someone how to do that.
Yeah.
Because I don't physically teach them, but I talk them through the mechanisms of their body and
letting go
what they can do to increase their chances of it happening. So not just from the physical perspective, but also from the mental perspective.
The mental perspective.
Women are having sex and thinking, oh my God, my cellulite, my stretch marks, my this, my that, my belly, looking at my belly. They're not relaxed enough.
Yeah.
Be confident no matter what size you are. From the time you feel confident and you feel sexy, that energy is going to transfer to your partner. And I through being a talk show host, I speak to a lot of guys, and I remember having a conversation with these guys in Satay Bar, which I was like, even I was surprised. And it was 3 guys, black guys, talking about, I like it when a girl's got cellulite on their legs. I like when she's got a bit of stretch marks on their breasts. And I was like, wow, you like stretch marks? And what the guy was saying was, one guy was saying that when a woman has stretch marks on her boobs, in his head, he thinks, oh, they were bigger than this. They were bigger than this. And now they've got stretch marks, it means they shrunk a bit. But I wonder how big they were. So that turns him on. And the other guy was saying that with the kind of cellulite, he said he likes a bit of jiggle. He likes cellulite on the thighs. And I was like going, wow. And another guy says he likes stretch marks on the belly. And I said, why? And he goes, because it shows me that her body did what it was meant to do. It's just his personal preference. So I was open mouth thinking, wow, and all this time I'm pulling the belly and I'm doing this and I'm doing all this.
Can I just say something as well, Divine? Notice how interesting it was to hear from a man's voice what they like and not what women think they like. See?
No, exactly. And I think more women need to hear men speaking about what they like. Because it's not all about the flat belly and perfection. A lot of my gym friends, guys I know that train that have amazing bodies, they're like, you know what, I like a woman with a belly.
You'll be surprised what they like. You'll be surprised what they like. So some people think, oh, he's really fit. He got to fit women. You'll be surprised what men like, you know. It would shock you.
We are shocked.
It would shock you what men like.
According to Kevin Samuels, you have to be a high-value woman. A high-value woman not have cellulite and jiggles.
A guy told me he likes mummy arms. I goes, what? He says, I like those school dinner ladies' arms. I don't know if it reminds you of something.
Yeah, I've got to work on mine, but
I've got a little bit.
But the funny thing is,
start yoga again.
You know what it is as well. You know what it is. You see, men can, as you said, men can visualize. If you've got the stretch marks, it means it was either bigger or smaller, but they like that, yeah. Or they like a bit of cellulite or a bit of something to hold on to, some sort of meat, something like that. But are women as understanding with men's bodies?
I am, but I don't like belly.
Oh, you see?
Too big. No.
Yeah.
I don't mind a
Yeah.
little bit, but massive rolls. I don't think guys should have rolls and back fat. That's just me personally, and I don't think that's it.
Why not?
I just don't, because to me it reminds me of a feminine shape. So if I see a guy that takes off his clothes and he's got loads of rolls, for me that looks feminine, because women have rolls. So that's just my personal thing. I like a man, whether he's big or whether he's small, if he's got a little bit of a belly, I like him to have a masculine physique. I don't like when men have feminine physiques. I just don't find that appealing.
Mm.
Do you remember a few weeks ago there was a post about different men with different body shapes? Which one do you like?
Oh yeah.
That was quite interesting. Some of the responses, what women tend to find attractive there. It's quite, you didn't like it too fit,
too muscly.
Yeah, it's quite interesting that. It's quite interesting that.
Yeah. You have to bit of balance, like you said. You know, I don't mind the little.
I think you know what it is. I think people just like people who are age appropriate.
Exactly.
Age appropriate.
No, that's just you.
Yeah.
What do you mean age appropriate?
So if I'm in my 50s, if I was to look at a woman, I'd look at a woman who, considering that age group, looks age appropriate. I ain't looking at no young thing.
Wow.
But what's the 50-year-old look like though? What do you mean?
What? Like, okay, put a woman 45 upwards would look like a mature woman.
What is that though?
No, not all.
You have to explain that.
Okay, let's be too general. Okay, put it this way. Okay, so you have to consider her lifestyle. Is she a smoker? Is she a drinker? Does she have kids? And you put that all into the equation, and then you look at the woman and think, yeah, she's age appropriate. But if you see a woman, you must have seen this woman who they're old and they've done surgery and they clearly look like old women trying to look young. You think, you don't even, you know what I mean? No.
Yeah, muttonish. Just
they're not age appropriate. So I'm saying that. So they've got the tight thing, but you see the skin, it's all sagging like turkey neck and all that.
All right, I get that.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say, really.
But it's very hard
as well.
But it's very hard with black people because you can't tell our ages.
It don't crack.
Yeah,
Nikki, you get some middle-aged men now, they're wearing the t-shirt and they got pregnancy. And you're like, you're not supposed to be wearing that t-shirt.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I'm getting that. I'm getting them.
Strict rules for the middle-aged people, then, you know.
No,
I hope they're listening.
I have
to take them to school.
I've got strict rules.
People like what they like. There's some people that prefer that, like, you know, people looking muttony. There's someone that will get turned on by a pregnant man. There's someone that likes people that's like younger than them. You know, people just like what they like.
They like what they like, innit? That's what makes it a beautiful place.
There's something for everyone. There's someone for everyone.
There is.
Well.
Thank you for having me. This has been amazing. I'll come again.
Please do. You've been absolutely amazing.
It's been.
I love everything that you've said. A lot of what you said has really resonated with me, honestly. So I will definitely be looking into like the stuff. I'll be coming to you. Let's just say that.
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
You can come back.
I'll definitely be coming to you. And
you'll have us on your show as well.
No, 100%. I'm starting back my show on Sunday, but I keep putting it back. I think it's one of those things that when you sometimes come out of the momentum, because I did it for like 4 months straight and I needed a bit of a break over the summer because it's a lot to commit to. And I keep saying, right, I'm starting next week. But I know once I do start, I'll be back on it consistently. So I've got a waiting list of guests, but you ladies are definitely, all 3 of you are welcome to join me.
Lovely.
Amazing.
All right, so tell everyone where they can find you on all your platforms and blah, blah, blah.
I am Symply Devine on everything. So on Facebook, you can find me Symply Devine. On Instagram, Symply with a Y_Devine. Snapchat, Symply Devine. I don't really snap that much. I'm also doing the fitness motivation. So, you know, thank you to everyone messaging me saying they're loving my workout videos and they're getting back in the gym and they're working out because that inspiration. That's one of my daily, what's the word?
Routines?
Daily objectives is to inspire, uplift, and entertain.
And you do it well, my love.
Thank you. Well. You guys too. Actually, thank you for having me. I really did. I mean, for me to be here for 4 hours,
Wow.
again.
Do you know what? And we always say we're going to do the show should be an hour, 2 hours, and then it ends up being 3 hours, and then Olu comes on, and then that's another hour. So Olu's the fire starter.
Him.
I'm not, you know. I'm not. You know.
Yeah, but no, it's been a long time coming. My mum got discharged from hospital today, so yeah, she's home. That's why I keep disappearing and running into the room. But I was like, we're not gonna cancel her again because we're not gonna, and I'm gonna pop in and out because mum, she's all right. She's got her remote. She's chilling. She's going to come home.
I love mum.
So yeah, we definitely would do it again. I'd love for you to be reoccurring because we share a lot of the same views. There's things you can talk about, and I like listening to your voice. So
me too.
Thank you.
Speaking voice, man.
Thank you. Can I just say the energy has been, because I'm very much an energy person. First time I've met Nikki, love you, Nikki, love your vibe, love your smile. Olu, I love your politician vibes.
Oh gosh.
I'm really impressed. When you said your age, I was like, damn, okay, you look amazing.
See, that's what he likes, though.
Little fan club on there.
Beautiful black man. Natalie, lovely vibes. I love your sincerity. And Trisha, love your vibes, love your ethos, love your businesswoman hat, love your fashion sense, everything. So
thank you so much. Thank you, my darling. Pleasure
welcome.
having you, and we'll definitely look forward to talking to you again.
Thank you.
definitely.
Take care, Divine. Bye.
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 Bye, darling. So, Olu, what you been up to, Mr. Going on with Attilian and all the other bits and pieces that you've been doing?
Well, like I said, I've moved into the local authority care market. So again, I'm really spreading my wings there. Excited. I got a big piece of work. I'm in conjunction with, don't mention the borough council. It's a big borough council. They're looking to use my work. So it's really about, like I said, intervention at the key stages. Because a lot of people do intervention too late. So we're looking at primary schools. We're looking at when they start secondary school. We're looking at PRUs and stuff like that. And what I've learned as well is that you know about country lines, don't you? Country, yeah. It's even
County lines.
County lines. So basically, county lines is when some of these people on the streets, they send young people.
Oh yeah. Say no more.
Yeah. But let me tell you another phenomenon which is growing in number, which is quite concerning as well. So we know about the postcode wars. What you get a lot of people doing now is they're recruiting young people as young as 8, 9, and 10 to go up to. They give them a weapon and say, right, go to that boy over there, walk past him and stab him. Because
like initiation,
because the ops don't see it, do they? You see a young person come to you, don't expect him to come and do something.
Oh, of course, right.
That's
so your guard's going to be all the way down, right?
That's the latest thing now. And the thing is, they can't get into trouble because they're under 10, under 11. So whereas before, if I live in Edmonton and I got beef with someone in Tottenham, and I go to roll up to him, you could see me coming. But if I said a young kid, you're going to be oblivious to it, isn't it? That's the latest thing now. That's the thing. Yeah. So you get a lot of people, by the time they start secondary school 11, they're in that gang mentality already. They're used to violence. They've held a weapon.
Yeah.
So it's about now looking to how we can intervene at a younger age to really prevent that.
Right.
So that's what I'm working with now.
How is that going to impact on your day job?
Oh, well, like I said,
I've like it's taken off. So
it has, yeah. I've gone full time, so I'm not in schools now.
Oh, okay, you've left.
Wow,
well done.
Yeah. So I had to go for it. Yeah, I'm not in schools now. So like I said, I've got one borough I'm working with, local authority care. I've got a few more I need to send with, but this big one in London Borough, don't mention the name. If this one bangs, it's going to be something phenomenal. It really is.
It will bang.
Right.
Yeah.
It will bang.
Yeah.
Listen, I definitely believe in energy, as you all know, and the prayers and stuff that my mum got. We thought we was going to lose her at one stage, and all of the well wishes and all of the prayers. My mum's in the room. Trisha, can you go and get me tea with her remote? She's chilling. So it is about really believing in your energy and your vision, and putting your
just going for it.
Just going for it, putting everything behind it. I've learned over this has been a real humbling few weeks for me, and I have learned that, my God, when we pray and when we focus, miracles can happen. So you'll get there, my friend. You'll get there.
Yeah, no, it'll be good, man. It'll be good.
Great. Just keep focused. We're gonna pray.
And also what I learned as well is, you know what, you can't be half-hearted with these things. Because at first I was a bit half-hearted. I don't know. Let me just put one foot in school and just go for it. The worst can happen if it doesn't work. I've learned something from it. And since I've just gone
back
for
and
it,
get a job in another school.
That's it.
Different mentality,
Okay?
And also what I learned is this as well. You know, sometimes as entrepreneurs we think, oh, I don't know, I'm not quite ready. What I've learned is this: say yes, figure it out later.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
I agree. Get on with it.
Figure it out later.
Yeah.
That's what our non-black counterparts are doing,
Yeah.
But it's to have the braveness to do it.
So are you going to be hiring staff, or have you got staff? Because I can't imagine you're going to be able to do this.
No, I've got, like I said, because of my teaching background, I know lots of teachers who say, oh, when you're ready, I'm there. So I've got people on the know, but I've got to understand that when people buy into my service, it's me they're buying. So I've got to show anyone I recommend is of the same sort of quality, because the work I do is challenging. I mean,
it really is.
We're talking about the kids who are they're just one step away from prison. You see, one step away from prison, and it requires a skill set that is very, very challenging. I mean, when you see a teenager in your face going, "Oh shit, what you do about it?" You've got to hold your nerve. You've got to be professional. Look him in the eye and say, "There'll be no shanking tonight." And that takes confidence to say that. I mean, not everyone can do that without responding as an adult. You see, and then training other staff how to deal with that, conflict resolution. It's not easy. It's not easy.
It's not.
Easy,
Rodney says, very inspirational, Olu, and spud you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, it really is.
No, that's very inspirational. And if you need female mentors, you know where to look.
I know exactly where to look.
With that said, Nikki, because I always believe in us mentioning what we do every single time, just in case we've got new viewers. So
I'm part of an organisation called Womanhood Academy, and we do empowerment workshops for for females. I won't say it's exclusively for Black children, but we only have Black children. But we're not exclusively for Black children, but the facilitators are Black, so you will be getting a Black service. So that's what we do. Every Saturday we are from 10 to 11:30 for 8 to 12-year-olds, and 12 o'clock to 1:30 for 13 to 18-year-olds. And we are online at the moment because we still can't find venues that are properly hiring out and stuff. So we're still online, all by Zoom every Saturday. We have a nice, decent following at the moment. And yeah, it's working really, really well.
Yeah.
So Nikki, so do you work in conjunction with the Manhood Academy, or is that?
Yes.
Are you the female arm to that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh right, because I've heard of them. Yeah. Good.
You heard of them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heard of them.
So we're the female arm. So we work alongside each other, but obviously you've got the masculine and the feminine energies that work separately, and we do joint sessions as well with the girls as young as 8.
Wow.
Just to make sure that and we have a lot of children that have dad issues, single parents. We've got a couple of single dads as well. So yeah, it's quite a mixed group, mixed ages. Obviously, a lot more single mums than single dads, but we've become like a family. Like we're like family. Like I get some of the mums calling me up and asking me questions and like, can you talk to her and stuff? So I literally sit down and talk to these girls and, you know what I mean, try and help them through this crazy madness called life, man. And if this was around when I was a teenager, I would not have done half, 3/4 of the stuff that I did do, you know. And this is not a slight on my upbringing or my parents or anything, because when you're outside of your house, you not forget, but you're outside of your house. You act a certain way indoors, you act a certain way out of doors. And if I think if I had this older female that wasn't my mum or my aunt or someone else giving me guidance and advice, I think I would have been a lot more further than.
Hindsight's a great thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
I keep saying that. That's why I talk to my boys, my nephews, people. I'm trying to download information that I didn't have. You know.
But
so
we've got to remember that they don't
mistakes.
have, they haven't got the capacity to retain that, what we're trying to tell them, because they're not at our stage yet. And that's the hard. Even with my own daughters that are 26, nearly 27, I try and talk stuff through them, but they're not, their brain's not the same as mine because they haven't been through my experiences. So those red flags that I spot and that I see, I try and explain it to them in whatever it might be, but it's hard because they're not where I am. So, but that's where my negotiation and experience comes into play, I suppose.
Yeah. Because it's definitely needed. I was going to the hospital to take something for my mum, so I parked up going to the shop, and then as I was parking up, I saw these two girls. They looked about 11, 12-ish, and then there was another. They were just standing there, and then a boy. He didn't look no older than 10. Walked up to them. They exchanged something, and I was like, "Are you kidding me? Like, you guys are in, like, you're kids." They're street dealing on the corner now, and it's definitely time to do some work with ours, because they're ours. Exactly. Our generation coming up. Exactly. So, you know, as Stephen Oram as he points out, there are many kids that are doing well and that are not on that side of the fence, and it's very important to mention that as well.
That's definitely
because it sounds all doom and gloom, like all of our kids are you know, going down a slippery slope, but there are many of our kids that's proud and gifted, celebrating
doing fantastically well.
So you know, but if we can do the work to get them over to the side of proud and gifted, then it's a job well done. So I commend you both
100%.
for what you're doing out there. Definitely, it's needed.
But I also want, you know, we try to start like we've started like a group called Parenthood, because, you know, we have manhood, we have womanhood, but there's, you know, girls and boys in men and women's bodies that are their parents. So that's where we need to get them as well, and, you know, work with them too, because like we said before, our parents, grandparents, whoever, they've been through a lot of trauma, and this is playing out with a lot of this is why our children
it's just fed down and it's like, as we were saying earlier, it's not a lot of us take the time out to do the soul searching and figure out who we are as people. We're not taught how to do it. And just figuring it out now, let alone them coming up. So it is about having those honest conversations and telling them what to look out for. And as Olu just said, downloading that information that we didn't have and making sure, and you're saying that their brain's not available, it's not at the same level as ours, but it's about sowing the seeds, and you'd be surprised.
This is what I'm saying. And this is
when you need it to kick in, it kicks in.
If we, and that's what I was, the reason why I said it was because we've got to realise that their brain's not ready for it. They don't realise it yet, because they're like, oh, you're chatting shit, or whatever they want to tell us. They just think, oh no, mum, you're just old. You weren't like that, you know, it's the 2000s now, it's not the 90s. And that's what I always get. But I'm just saying, like, do you know what? If I keep saying it and I keep chipping away, one day you're going to be like, that's what she meant.
I've had many epiphanies that that's what mum was saying. I think it is the way that we talk to them as well, because I feel like if I'm being talked at, I'll switch off. But if I'm being reasoned with, then there's a difference. I think as adults talking to kids, or mums and dads talking to kids, there's a tendency to dictate and talk at as opposed to talk with. That makes sense.
And that makes a whole lot of sense. Like I said, my daughter 26 now, so we can sit down and we can chat and
Have a little reason,
we reason, we laugh and joke. My sons are 10 and 11, 9 and 11, and I'm reasoning with you. Like, we ain't got no reason to reason at this stage.
At this moment.
No. Because
Yeah.
if I tell you to go to bed, don't ask me why. If I tell you to do something, it's not why, it's please, can you just do it? If I ask you to do something, it's yes, mum. I don't want a negotiation. I don't want to chat. You know what I mean? And he said it the other day, but you don't talk to Tora like that, because Tora's an adult. But she's still your child, but she's an adult. I can't tell her what to do. I can't tell her to go to bed. I can't, you know, my relationship with my two girls that are 26 grown adults are different to my little pre-pubescent boys. So, you know, it's different.
I hear that. Miss Natalie.
Hello.
What next is coming up, isn't it?
It is.
What, next weekend?
Next weekend, the 18th. The 18th, yeah.
Saturday.
Yeah, so that's coming up. We've got panelists. We've got best-selling author for making property ownership your side hustle, from Des Ame. He's also the owner of Ame Finance Academy. Turned a lot of people into wealthy people. His academy, it's really good. He's based in Canary Wharf. He's one of our panelists, and his business partner, who's a property strategist for over 20 years, Erica Fremantle, and she's an entrepreneur as well, and also works with a lot of people and has kind of helped to turn their financial income around. And she just says there's a load of people think that they cannot get into property when they can. So she's a strategist, so she kind of helps you get into it. And it's not just for people getting into property, it's also for people who maybe they have a property or have properties already, but expanding that catalogue and knowing what to do with it and knowing how to get more of an income out of it. There's that as well. I'm not going to lie though, had a few meetings over the last couple of days, including today, and the uptake's not been great for it. So it's not looking fantastic right now. And that's me being 100% real, especially after a conversation I had today. Ticket sales are okay. There's a lot of people that said they're coming, but the ticket sales are not reflecting that too tough. So we're pushing it and pushing it and pushing it, but yeah, it's a bit disappointing. And I wouldn't lie. I'd be lying if I would say I'm not a little bit disheartened. It's not stopping me on what we've got to do, but I am. It's a lot has gone into it. A lot has gotten into it to bring it, and even to kind of get these people to come down and talk, you know, without it, you know, being at an expense to us is a lot. Is it a straight business
presentation?
No, so it's on a boat. So it's like a river cruise. It's a seminar. So it's not just they're going to present to you different ways into property finance, no matter what your financial or credit situation is. There's different ways in how to get properties, what to do when you have properties, what you can do with property. They also offer long-term mentorship and support, and there are also different ventures that are available that they will go into that you can sign up to. So it's not just kind of that, like, you go to that event and then have to remember everything. You're kind of given the tools and the resources and the option to go into things kind of long term. So it's like a river cruise on the Viscount boat from Millbank Pier so we'll be cruising up and down London in the boat whilst that's happening between 1 and 5 p.m.
Because as a suggestion, so you might want to consider, just a suggestion, would there be food and buffet available?
Yeah, there is light canapes available.
Right.
There are light canapes.
And I know it sounds a bit trivial. Get a DJ to come on board as well.
Yeah, no, there's going to be music there, but obviously for the duration of the time, there's music and networking that will be available, but I'm not going to lie, it's not a full on, it's not going to be a dance like that.
Not dance, but you know, that might just
be that. It's not supposed to.
If they're looking for that, they're going to be in the wrong honestly, it's going to be in the wrong place anyway. That's just the
and the
truth.
whole what next thing isn't about that, is it? It's
yeah.
I know that, but you know, yeah, just to bring them in.
Yeah, but to be fair, we've done this. I did a seminar like this, not on a boat, but in a hall, without all of that, sold out.
Brilliant.
Not a problem. And it was a bit longer than this one is going to be.
It was all day, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was all day. It was all day. It was been workshop. So I'm not quite sure. I'm not 100. I've got a feeling what it could be. I'm not 100% sure on what the block is and what is, you know, holding people back on this one. But yeah, that's where we are with this particular event. I was toying whether I knew this part was going to come up, and I was toying whether to say it, but no bravado in it.
No,
exactly.
Appreciate honesty, man.
Yeah, and so this is where we are. This is where we are with this, which is kind of like, this is a struggle for me. Because I'm like, damn. So it's not been a great day today.
The thing is,
it is what it is.
The others were free or cheaper.
Yeah, the others were free and cheaper. So
but
I think
this was like £20 early bird ticket to get information, to level up in terms of ownership. We don't have any ownership. We don't have as much property in our community as we should have. We don't have any economic power. And it's about talking to people who have managed to accumulate that and have the expertise and have the knowledge to be able to start to be able to have some ownership in our community. Teach our kids how they can have ownership in their community from young, and no one's interested in spending a £20 on a ticket.
Yeah, they're literally happy to lead the way.
It's shaming because, you know, we've had so many dances recently on the boat where they're been packed, and something which is really
£30, £35.
If it doesn't pick up, I don't know if it's going to happen. Not going to lie.
Fuming.
Wow.
And I'm not even here. Otherwise, you know, I'd have had my ticket for a long time. I'm going away for the weekend.
Pick up. So
this is one of the things that I wanted to go to, because just today I was having a conversation with my friend. She's just bought a house. We're trying to buy a house. And we were talking about trying to put monies together to get a little deposit, like, you know what I mean? And it's the same. And I was talking about your thing.
That concept.
Well. Yeah, that's it. That's exactly what we was talking about.
That's the whole concept. Yeah. And that opportunity of us all putting money together, and, you know, our property specialist who is with us all the time, Ali, being the sole investor, the investor, and majority investor, and then those within What Next who would like to kind of invest anything from £500 into a property, and we keep buying properties together as a collective and kind of make money that way. It's a good way of getting onto the property ladder as well. But I sat in a room, I had meetings a couple of weeks ago with these panelists and them. I sat in a room, I went to their offices. They have their own offices at 1 Canada Square in Canary Wharf. Right. I sat in there, spoke to them for like, just listening to them to talk for 15 minutes. I learned so much. And the fact that they do so much, they work hard, and the fact that they're willing to come down and they just want to, and he said, I want to give back to the community, because I feel like he feels like it's just the knowledge of, it's just knowing, innit? It's just knowing. So a lot of us could be in a lot more of a better position if we have the knowledge and the resources, which is what they're willing to give. But because people have to pay a little something for that, it's like, I understand the situation, but this is a community organisation run by us. We can't keep fully
doing it for free.
Funding it.
Yeah, we funded the first one more or less because we made it cheap, but we paid out of our pockets for that. And so that people could have their lunch and have their seminar. But now you want to at least cover the costs.
Yeah, exactly. How much do you think it's going to cost to do the boat? Like, how much do you think that is? Like I said, so if it doesn't happen, if it doesn't pick up, it could throw a spanner in the works for this particular one. But again, I'm not one. It's not going to put a stop to What Next and what we're doing. Yeah, it's not going to put a stop to What Next and what we're doing. Obviously, it's disheartening. Threw me off today. Not going to lie. threw off my whole day from morning, but it is what it is. So I'll just keep on keeping on, and it's not going to stop what I'm going to do. And this is what I said, I've tried to do what next many times throughout the years, and this is what happens. Everyone jumps on it at first, they're excited, but when the real work comes,
it was quiet.
Yeah. And so what I've usually done is I've usually then given up and said, oh, forget it, man, I can't bother. But I ain't doing it.
Not this time. Yeah.
Nah, I'm not doing it. So whatever happens, and if I have to come back to the property and come back to it, I'm going to do it. But if you really want to get into it, I can't express to you how it's really, and I didn't want it to be a boring seminar. So I did it. It's your journey into property ownership. So I made it a voyage. It's an actual literal journey as you kind of delve into that. But yeah, keeping it real on no bravado. Like,
it's okay. I think a lot of people as well, because I've been thinking about it, and I think a lot of people as well think, well, I'm not in a position I'm not in a position to, so it's not going to be for me, because you have to have at least 20 or 30 grand to get onto the property market. I don't have that. I've got credit. So they start to just kind of, it's about mythbusters, and I think that's what we really look at.
I was going to say that maybe it's time, maybe you need to do something around it for people, because I even said it myself. Oh, but you know, we're trying to buy a house, and what extra do I have or whatever. But like when I was talking to my friend today, she was saying, she said, Nick, if there was 3 of us and we wanted to buy a flat for, I don't know, 50 or 60 grand, that's only maybe a couple of grand each for a deposit. Do you know what I'm saying? And then just start that way.
Absolutely.
And I said, you know what? I didn't, and it just dawned on me, like you said, it did just dawn on me, because I'm thinking like, no, I want to buy a house for you know, family, kids, whatever. But we can still put our fingers in other pies. So, and you're right, Trish, it's the
mythbusters that you can't do it.
Yeah. And again, I just want to put, this ain't something that is like for me. So this isn't something of self-interest where I'm putting on a dance and then we're going to be I'm going to be laughing at the end of it. This is the whole what next, and the efforts from what next, all the panelists, the team. This is not for us. Like, everything we put in is coming from us. We're putting everything in, but it's driven by, we want better for the community, and for the wider community.
Want better for themselves, though.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So again,
exactly. Yeah, because I was even having a conversation with a friend, and she was like, well, what do you want to buy a house for? I said, what do you mean, what do I want to buy a house for? I want to buy a house because I need something. I want something to pass on to my children. I want to start my own generational wealth. Do you know what I mean? She's like, yeah, but no, like, aren't you happy just paying your rent and calling them to fix your stuff? And no, babe, I'm not.
So ridiculous.
Because I'm nearly 50. I'm on the way to 50. I say nearly. I'm a few years, 3 years away from 50. So, you know, it's something that needs to be done now. I'm not sitting there
generation after generation not having any kind of economic power or any ownership, and we're supposed to be happy with that.
I'd just be happy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
No.
Yeah. Other things are going well. Niall's doing well. A Black Afro Hair and Beauty Store's doing well. NLPR agencies there, we're doing okay. But obviously my time at the moment, a lot of it is consumed with that. And obviously I do marketing and branding and PR and stuff. So I'm looking at the strategies, and I'm looking at ways, I'm creating the content as well. So I'm just kind of, that's where my whole head is at the moment.
And your boy just started school.
Yeah, the boy started school on Monday. And I'd just like to say, Trisha knows, I don't like schools. I don't like it. So every time it's school time, I kind of get anxiety.
Yeah.
I've been looking at homeschooling and homeschooling kind of syndicates for a while now. We have for them. So every time the term comes and they go back to school, I'm like, oh my God, I don't like it. It gives me some kind of anxiety. They enjoyed it today though. Today and yesterday, but yeah, they're back at school and it's like back to that routine. I just feel like I'm giving them to them. Do you know what I mean? It's a weird feeling. I feel like I'm giving giving my kids to these people to kind of mold. I don't like it, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Well, ladies and one gent, it's quarter
Yes,
past 12.
darling.
We're talking 4 hours and 15 minutes.
Wow.
You can find me at All Things Diva Choice. So Diva Choice on Twitter, Diva Choice on Facebook. Where else am I at? That's it, isn't it?
Instagram.
Yeah, Twitter, Facebook,
Instagram, yeah.
Instagram, Diva Choice Official, isn't it? _official.
Yeah. And my online boutique, www.divachoice.co.uk. And once again, just wanted to say thank you for all. We got so much messages. People sent me songs. Lorraine Foster sent me a voice note on Facebook. She couldn't really sing, but sent me songs, singing. And I managed to, because I got so much support and so hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of messages. And I wanted my mum to get some of that. So I started asking people to put it on voice notes, and then I would send it to her WhatsApp. And she couldn't respond because she was really out of it, but you could see when she would play it and listen to it. And again, I really think that those prayers and those energies and all those well wishes really helped to bring me and my mum through a really difficult time. It showed me that miracles do happen. At one point, her oxygen went down to 35%, and that's when the doctors were saying it's not looking good, and you're going to have to, it's not looking. And I remembered saying, come on, Coco, like, come on, you got to come home to me, man. And everyone's just, the support was my neighbours. One Sunday I got 3 dinners. So
yeah,
you cooked up a storm for me, and then my neighbours next door, my immediate neighbours next door, gave me a nice plate of food, and then my neighbour across the road bought. And I was like, okay, well, I can have some tomorrow, and I can have some. Not that I was eating that much, because I was still recovering from COVID myself. But I just wanted to say thank you, and thank you guys for holding it down. The show that you guys done the other day, 2 weeks ago, was beautiful. And I just really appreciate it. And just goes to show, when we going back to what next, when we make a collective effort and we focus and we put energy behind something, you can literally bring someone back from the doors of death, let alone what else we can achieve if we was to put our minds to it and really try to establish something. So Natalie, I know you're not going to give up, and I won't allow it anyway. I'm going to always.
You're not.
You can't give up.
Always be your biggest cheerleader, and we'll get there.
No, we will. We will.
Yeah.
And I'm so connected. Like, my heart and spirit is in what next. Everything. So I'm never going to
with your heart.
Yeah.
And the reason I'm so invested in it is because you can feel the energy around it. You know that it's pure intent. It ain't for profit. It ain't, like I said, the first couple of events, we lost money. I backed Natalie and we put money in to do it, but it wasn't about the money that we was putting in. It was about the cause.
Yeah.
So, because you created that in nothing but good faith and good energy. So it will
work now. It will work.
Yeah.
Yes, anyway, so we just keep going.
Yeah.
Before I go, I think it's important to mention, I should have mentioned this from the beginning, but it's come to my attention that we have got group members that are borrowing money from other group members.
Oh.
And they're not paying back. We're not going to name and shame at this stage, because we're hoping that this person will do the right thing. And start paying this money back, that this person, because again, this person gave you this money, and this is why there's no trust in our community. This is why we behave in the way that we behave, because this person gave you money in good faith, and then you started moving wonky. I don't want to go into it too much, because I want to see if this person is going to pay back. But with all of that said, no Bravado takes no responsibility for money lost. We can't vouch for over 1,000 people. If you meet somebody in the group and you start romantic endeavors and it goes pear-shaped, don't use our platform to troll them. And we're, again, not taking any responsibility for it. I still think at the end of the day, as much as people love this group, people love each other in the group, we still got to remember it's Facebook and there's scammers.
Yeah.
Let's just be mindful, because we're not taking any responsibility for any money lost or hearts broken. And I just want to say that.
I don't know what to say, Trisha. I really don't know what to say about that.
No,
be a good person, man.
just do the right thing. This person lent money in good faith, and then when it comes and
Have you tried contacting the person directly on behalf of the other person?
yeah, we did, and that's why we're getting somewhere now. But again, at the point of the money exchange, we weren't involved.
Nothing to do with it.
Why are we involved now when it comes to getting the money back? But because this person done it out of good faith, and
they're a good person.
They're a very good person, and we're very moralistic. All of us that know Bravado, we stand in good morals. So we did contact that person and said, look, you've got 24 hours to respond, or we're going to blast you in name and shame, because we don't want no one to fall victim to that type of behaviour in our group.
It's not fair.
It's not good. It's not fair.
No, I was just concerned because you may get the person says, okay, blast me. And if you blast that person, then your chance of getting the money will be reduced. That's what I'm saying.
Hence the reason why we're not going into it now, because they did make contact and they have made arrangements to pay back following our intervention. But even my mum, that's just coming back from her deathbed, was like, I don't understand why you're involved in this.
Yeah.
Because it's nothing to do with you. Do you know what I mean?
Basically, the message was, moving forward, please bear in mind, don't do anything like this. It's not that sort of platform. Rather than you send a message, try and shame the person, because I think if that was me now, I feel like, oh my gosh, you're embarrassing me now without naming me.
We still feel the need. Maybe it's not even about shaming. If this person needs to be exposed so that nobody else gives them money, then that might be the
That's
the
the
way
main
to
aim.
That's the main thing, because we don't want nobody else to be. I'm hoping that this person is who I think they are and is going to be genuine and pay the money back.
Okay.
But the reason I've mentioned it today is because I don't want anybody else to lend anybody any money in this group, and then if it goes pear-shaped, then suddenly
they're looking at you.
Problem.
Yeah, because you also mentioned the money. Then you also mentioned any romantic interest. Was it a double-edged sword?
No,
it wasn't romantic.
But there's been cases of romantic endeavours, and then when it goes pear-shaped, again, they're using the platform to troll each other. And it's like, can't do that.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah. A lot goes on in this little group, you know, Olu.
But I haven't seen it on here. They sent it to you, you mean?
You haven't seen, you don't check in every day, so you wouldn't see it. And I guess if
it's indirect as well.
Indirect.
Indirect.
So yeah.
If you know, you know, innit?
You know, yeah.
So then the person that's been indirected might inbox me or Trisha and let me know, and then we see, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just be careful, because you seem to be taking a moral stance here, and that's not sure it's not the role of the
platform. The whole point of we're good people and we do the right thing. So if I don't really borrow money from people, it's just not something I do. But if I have ever had to ask any of my circle to borrow any money, I've asked Goody to borrow £1,000 before, because I had a big show that I needed to do and I was £1,000 short. And I said, Goody, lend me £1,000. And he was like, when am I going to get it back? And I said, on 17th of December, you'll get it back. And he got it back on the 17th. No problem, because he knows if she says she's going to give it back to me, she's going to give it back to me. And I don't ask people to borrow money because it's not something that I necessarily need to do. So you would hope that people would move in the same way, but the world is made up of so many different people, and you've got a duty to protect yourself. Because you're a good person, people will gravitate to that and people will take advantage of that. Like I said, I'm hoping that this person is not taking advantage of it and is going to do the right thing and pay back. If they don't, then I think we kind of got a moral obligation to say, don't lend this person anymore.
Yeah, as a warning.
As a warning. But after that, it's not really our responsibility to.
But I think
we'll take it away. We're not bailiffs.
I'm looking differently. if you're going to blast a person for not paying back, you also need to, the person for giving it, and say, you're an idiot, man. You have to, it's two ways. You can't just blast one person.
I don't think that they're an idiot, though. I think
No,
they're
they were being nice and genuine, weren't they?
hearts. And this is the thing. It's these kind of behaviours that paint people with good hearts. So then, when you've got genuine practices that are going on, or someone who might genuinely need the money, or if we've got what next, and we're saying, come and invest in this property, because they've been stung. Nah, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I might not get my money back because people move wonky. It's just such a shame, because we need more people like this person who lent the money. We need people with good hearts out here in this world.
Exactly.
It can be big,
Yeah, but also remember, because there's a lot of mental illness, COVID. I'm not making excuses. The person may not be in a position, or thought when they borrowed it they could pay it back, and now realize they can't. You don't put extra pressure on that person.
And then you say that you don't.
Yeah, you don't just go ghost, do you?
Yeah, you don't.
Oh, right, okay.
You say that you don't move wonky. You say, I cannot. Our previous arrangement, I'm not going to be able to meet. I'm going to have to be able to do X, Y, and Z.
They moved very bad following it. They did not move correct. And it was intentional moving in a wrong way. So
you tried to mediate, but you guys tried to mediate, yeah?
Yeah, and
that's the main thing. Good, okay.
We did try to mediate, and we're hoping that it moves forward in a positive direction. Yeah, but we also felt the need to make a disclaimer that if you guys make independent arrangements within yourselves, within the group,
business,
we cannot
come and write to you after.
We cannot.
And also, even the relationship one, what do you expect you to do? Two people hook up, it goes pear-shaped. What do you expect you to do?
You'd be surprised. It's crazy.
He cheated on me. She's got next. I mean, what are you supposed to do?
I don't know.
Surprised.
Who knows?
You're not in the camera. You're just, all I can see is one pretty side of your face. That's it.
You'd be surprised. So, this is why I say no when people say, do you want to do dating? You lot do the dating. I'm like, no, because if you guys think we're responsible when we don't even set it up, if we set it up, you're really going to take me responsible. So if you get pregnant, it's my fault. No,
surely you put this game.
You'd be surprised.
Really?
Because I think, and it's not your responsibility when it goes well, only when it goes wrong.
Yeah,
so I'm just like, nah.
No, we're not here for it.
Yeah, I'd rather
and
not.
You're right, Olu. I wouldn't describe this person who lent the money as an idiot, but I do think we have a responsibility to protect ourselves. If you're a good person, even more so, you've got to be not guarded, because you don't want to be up with your guards up, but you've got a responsibility to protect yourself.
Yeah, because remember, without having the details, you don't know the conditions under which that money was lent. So it's good to demonize a person for not paying it back, but you don't know what the arrangement was. You're hearing it from one side. That's what I'm saying.
We did, yeah. We did.
Just be careful. You don't put yourself in a position where you're taking sides. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very true. Anyway,
they're right.
I meant to just be off the camera. It's just ridiculous. I can't. All we can see is your shoulder.
Who's that, Natalie?
Natalie. You know what? My back is playing up. So, and I'm not up against nothing. So I have to kind of, sit forward a little bit just to give it some relief. Yeah.
All right. So with that said, let me go check on my mum. You rest your back.
Guys, you take care.
Olu, thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
2 hours late, always still a pleasure.
I heard the whole show.
Yeah. And he still did a solid 2 hours on. That's how long it was.
There you go.
You know what I mean? We still end up, what's the time?
12. Bye.
Bye. Listen, bye. Love you guys.
Have a weekend. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Later.
Bye.
Bye.
Love you, that.
Oh, you too. Oh, send Mum my love.
Yeah, I'm gonna go and hug her up right now, man.
Today, man. So,
got to tell me about it.
Yeah, I just feel shitty today, man. I had a bad day, really, really bad day. I want to cry, but it won't come out. I'm just like,
Oh.
oh. So
You didn't
yeah.
call me.
I know, but I don't want to bother. I know mum's coming out. You've had so much on. I don't want to bother you with that.
You're never a bother.
No, I don't want to.
You know, you're my whole heart. I love you. You can call me anytime. You're never a bother. But I'll call you later. Or, should I call you now or call you tomorrow?
Yeah, you can call me now. I didn't realise we were still on live. I just told them I wanted to cry.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's cry offline.
Oh.
Call you in a minute.
All
Bye,
right,
doll.
bye.
Bye.